Doflamingo is very proud now. He used the devil fruit ability to control King Riku to kill people everywhere, and then descended like a savior, defeated King Riku and gained the approval of the civilians of the Kingdom of Red's Rosa. In addition, he was originally the royal family who once controlled Red's Rosa, and easily became the new king of Red's Rosa. Of course, the most important reason for being able to control Red's Rosa so easily is because all those who oppose it have been turned into toys by sugar, and everyone has forgotten their existence. After a few operations, he took control of a country, and Doflamingo is now proud of it. Standing on the heights of the palace of Red's Rosa, Doflamingo opened his hands as if embracing the world. Everyone in Don Quixote family also smiled triumphantly. At this moment a voice sounded, "You seem to be enjoying it." The sudden appearance of the voice made the entire Don Quixote family's complexion change. If it is a family member, they can hear his voice as soon as they hear it. The voice that appeared now was very strange, obviously not from their family. Then who is this person? The other party appeared silently, they hadn't noticed at all earlier. Doflamingo's face also changed drastically. The voice reminded him of something, and he immediately turned around and looked in the direction of the voice. At this time, I saw a person sitting in his original seat. Seeing this person, Doflamingo's face changed drastically again, and it became ugly. "Who are you, bold? That's the position of the young master. How bold are you? This is not a place where you can be presumptuous." Doflamingo still didn't come to speak in shock, and everyone in the Don Quixote family was angry because this person took the position of Doflamingo. One by one they took out their weapons, or displayed their abilities, to kill them. Looking at the killed Don Quixote family, the Comer raised his head. He didn't see any movement, and suddenly a terrifying repulsion came out from him in all directions. All the people at Don Quixote who had killed him felt that a terrifying force was coming, and immediately flew out one by one. Bang! 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 Everyone in the Don Quixote family slammed heavily on the walls and stone pillars of the Red's Rosa palace. They looked at the person in the seat in astonishment. Who on earth was the other party, so terrifying? They didn't even see the hands, and they all shot them away with one blow. Seeing, you seem to be surprised. You never thought, would I ask you to settle the account? Or if you haven't seen it for 2 years, you have forgotten that matter. The visitor said lightly. It's boiling over. I naturally didn't forget. Although we have some misunderstandings, it is not to the point of death or death. Gabriel Yuri, if you can forgive my rudeness, I will compensate you 10 times. Doflamingo said with a smile. Gabriel Yuri. He is Gabriel Yuri, one of the 4 emperors, Gabriel Yuri. It turned out to be her. No wonder it took us all out with just one blow. Hey, how could Gabriel Yuri, one of the 4 emperors, suddenly appear here? And it seems to be looking for trouble with the young master. Has our young master offended him before? Could it be that thing? What's the matter? 2 years ago, Gabriel had just gone to sea shortly after the young master met Gabriel Yuri. Gabriel Yuri asked the young master for some new world information, and the young master agreed. Toripal. In that case, why did Gabriel Yuri? Monet asked. Because the young master turned back later and only gave Gabriel Yuri some well-known information, Toripal said helplessly. Hearing Toripal's words, everyone was speechless. No wonder people are coming to trouble the young master. Since you are not willing to give people information, why do you agree to them, and finally give them some well-known information? Isn't this a deliberate play? Not to mention that they are the 4 emperors of the dignified new world, even ordinary pirates can't forget it. Now that it's all right, people have come to the door, what can I do? They are 4 emperors. She has a hunch that today is really troublesome. Really, it's really not to the point where you live and die. If you are Kaido, or one of the 4 emperors, I will not come today, at most blackmail you something. But you are not. You want to die and live with me, you are not qualified. Yuri said lightly. Hearing Yuri's words, Doflamingo's face changed very ugly. The other party really didn't look at him at all, seeing him as a strand of ants that could be easily grasped. Doflamingo has experienced many winds and waves even now, and it is listed by Marine as Shichibukai who can deal with the 4 emperors. Now that he is so underestimated, how can his face look good? After a while, Doflamingo's face slowed down and said, It is boiling. I admit that you are indeed very strong now, but there are Marine and 4 emperors Kaido of the Beasts standing behind me. If you shoot at me, you can provoke at the same time got Naval Headquarters and Kaido of the Beasts. Black and white. Do you think you are great? For Naval Headquarters, a failed Shichibukai is of no value. After you are defeated, the first one to give up you is Naval Headquarters. As for Kaido of the Beasts, although I am not afraid of him, do you think he will go to war with me for things that have not yet been seen? Besides, since I took the shot, would I still take care of them? Yuri said lightly. It's boiling over, it seems you have to do it. Doflamingo said with a sneer. As he spoke, the ground under his feet changed dramatically. The ground stones under the feet suddenly turned into white silk threads. Doflamingo's devil fruit has awakened. You are not the only one who can awaken devil fruit. Doflamingo sneered. Quality. Devil fruit is awakened. The young master really deserves to be a natural king, and he can develop devil fruit to the level of awakening at such a young age. Haha, great. Young master's devil fruit is also awakened. I heard that Gabriel Yuri's strongest place is devil fruit. It is also the awakening of Paramisha devil fruit's ability. Yes. With the power to fight Gabriel Yuri, one of the 4 emperors, the young master is indeed a natural king. Seeing that Doflamingo's devil fruit has also developed to awakening. All the objects in the surroundings turned into lines because of Doflamingo's awakening, and everyone in the Don Quixote family became excited. Morale plummeted just now because of knowing Yuri's identity, and all of them recovered at this time. They knew that Yuri, the emperor of the 4 emperors, had all his strength in his devil fruit ability. His strongest power is devil fruit awakening. But now their young master can also awaken devil fruit. Paramisha devil fruit is also capable of awakening. Even if the young master can't beat the emperor silly Yuri, he should have self-protection. Thinking of this, everyone in Don Quixote family looked at each other, and their eyes showed joy. After I asked Yuri last time, Doflamingo didn't take it seriously for a while at the beginning. Although Yuri's ability is very troublesome, Doflamingo doesn't think he can survive this time in New World. After all, when Yuri enters the New World, he has to face monsters like Big Mom Kaido Whitebeard directly. If a person is dead, of course Doflamingo will not care. But as the news of Yuri in the Star World continued to come, Doflamingo knew that Yuri not only was not dead, but that his strength was getting stronger and stronger. It is even rumored to be able to compete with monsters like Big Mom, Whitebeard, and Admiral of Headquarters. Especially when the newspaper reported that he successfully pushed back Whitebeard and became the 4th Emperor of the Sea, Doflamingo's face looked very ugly. At this time, Yuri was like a sword hanging from Doflamingo's head, reminding him not to let go. Doflamingo doesn't know how many times he woke up in his dream because of. If the other party came to the door, with his current strength, he could only be slaughtered. So in the past 2 years, Doflamingo has been training hard and developing devil fruit. Finally, he developed his own string fruit to the point of awakening. In addition, he became Shichibukai, and he had a lot of business dealings with 4 emperors Kaido of the Beasts, Black and White, and he was also an intermediary business in the Dark World. Doflamingo felt that even if Yuri wanted to settle the account with himself, he should weigh this, so he dared to execute the plan and enter the New World. Of course, the most important thing is that his devil fruit awakens, and his strength has greatly increased to him. He knew that Yuri's greatest strength was his devil fruit ability. He did not believe that the same Paramisha devil fruit awakened, he would be so much worse than Yuri. Gabriel Yuri can become 4 emperors with devil fruit ability, why can't he? Ah, is this your support? Let me see how much strength your devil fruit awakening can bring to you. Yuri sat on a big chair with her legs up and looked down at Doflamingo. Devil fruit awakened? But Yuri still didn't care. Boom. I hope you will be able to kill with 16 sacred bullets so easily after a while. Seeing Yuri still looking down at him, Doflamingo was secretly annoyed. While Doflamingo was speaking, 16 spears composed of countless white lines rose from the white lines on the ground. The spear of the spear is extremely sharp, and armament hockey is wrapped around it. Doflamingo shouted and pointed his hand at Yuri. 16 sacred bullets quickly slew towards Yuri. These 16 spears are very fast and powerful, and they will be assassinated in front of Yuri in a blink of an eye. But Yuri seemed to be stunned there and didn't move, letting the 16 sacred bullets attack. He was about to stab Yuri, but the 16 sacred bullets stopped. It was not that Doflamingo stopped the attack with compassion, but that these 16 fierce spears were blocked by an invisible force. Impossible. Doflamingo's face changed drastically. My own devil fruit awakened, and the ultimate attack he displayed was blocked so easily. Impossible. Doflamingo didn't believe this was the truth, and desperately used the devil fruit ability to control the holy fierce bullets to continuously stab Yuri. But no matter how hard he used it, or a 360 dead angle attack, it had no effect at all. Yuri is still sitting there, without moving his body. But all the attacks that reached 30 centimeters around Yuri's body stopped. Blocked by an invisible pressure, as if Yuri's whole body is 30 centimeters, it is a sacred place that can't be touched. How is it possible? Young Master's attack can't even get close to Gabriel Yuri. It is also Paramisha devil fruit awakening, how can there be such a gap? Little Lord, the faces of the people in Don Quixote family also changed drastically, completely unbelievable. It's all devil fruits awakening, why is there such a big gap? Did Gabriel Yuri develop devil fruit to a higher level? But never heard that devil fruit has a higher realm than awakening? The awakening of devil fruit and the awakening of devil fruit are not the same, Yuri said lightly. While speaking, Yuri stretched out a finger, and the terrifying repulsion condensed on his finger. With a terrifying repulsion, Yuri hit one of the sacred fierce bullets that stabbed on the repulsion barrier. The terrifying repulsion on the fingers of this bullet erupted, and the armament hockey on the holy bullet was shattered. At the same time, the sacred fierce bullets twisted and twisted by countless white threads were also shattered and scattered. How could it be possible that the young master's sacred fierce bullet was dispelled with a single blow? Monster. How did he do it? Is it true that as he said, devil fruit awakening and devil fruit awakening are different? Is this the power of the four emperors? It's terrifying. The people of Don Quixote family said in shock. Are you trying to say that there is a difference between you and me? Don't be too arrogant, bastard. You are just relying on the power of the magnetic fruit. Doflamingo was excited by Yuri's scornful eyes, madly controlling the remainder. The sacred fierce bombs continued to attack. Ho ho ho. You don't understand from beginning to end, we are different, Yuri said lightly. Yuri is not saying that his aptitude is better than Doflamingo. What kind of aptitude is Yuri? He knows best. His physical aptitude is worse than Doflamingo, saying that this is just self-deception. The difference, he said, is that their devil fruit is different. Ordinary people divide devil fruit into three categories: zone, paramecia, and logia. But even if it is the same paramecia devil fruit, there are many different branches. Such as the superpowers of Yuri and Whitebeard. Luffy's superhuman body, Doflamingo paramecia creation. There are also local alienation like violets and so on. Since it is a different branch, the development method is naturally different. Doflamingo's string fruit is a creation ability, which can create a variety of threads with different abilities. For example, the parasite string developed by Doflamingo, as well as the extremely sturdy wire like birdcage, and so on. If Yuri is a string fruit capable person, he will definitely develop various attributes and various abilities online. For example, ordinary element lines such as the low-level version of gold, wood, water, fire and soil. The intermediate version of the line of attributes such as wind, thunder, light, and darkness. There are also advanced versions of fate line, dividing line, space line and so on with a little fantasy color. Of course, it is not easy to develop these lines, each of which requires a lot of time to develop and upgrade. However, Doflamingo did not develop in this direction, but hurriedly developed devil fruit to the level of awakening. In this way, although the control of devil fruit has been improved, only relying on the lines he developed, even if the control of devil fruit is awakened, there is no way to exert much power. So even if it is the same devil fruit awakening, the power displayed is completely different from Yuri. Although it was devil fruit's awakening, Yuri developed the two magical powers of attraction and repulsion. The magnetic power of the magnetic fruit itself is actually not strong. He can only use magnetic power to control some metals. Even if he develops to death and the devil awakens to the fruit, its attack power is actually not as good as Ming's string fruit ability. But Yuri developed two abilities, gravitation and repulsion. It is these two magical powers that have Yuri's terrifying strength. Otherwise, he can only be a sword fairy and control some flying swords for fun, although that's not bad. By the way, you can also use a super electromagnetic gun. But after the development of gravitational and repulsive forces, Yuri has all kinds of possibilities. Moreover, gravitation and repulsion can be regarded as a kind of energy. The more the energy is compressed, the stronger it will be, and the more explosive it will be, the greater its power will be. Yuri doesn't need to be developed, just condense and compress the gravitational repulsion, and then burst out in an instant, you can have extraordinary power. Just like Yuri just compressed the repulsive force on a finger, and then with a light flick, such a terrifying power burst out in an instant, easily dispersing the sacred fierce bullet. The only trouble is that the use of gravity and repulsion consumes too much energy. For ordinary people, spirit is an extremely mysterious thing. And the consumption of the body is easy to recover. Some people in this world with strong recovery ability recovered after eating a meal. Mental recovery is extremely difficult. In addition, too much mental exhaustion will directly cause people to coma. Once a coma is several days, some people will not even be able to wake up from then on. The last time Yuri and Marine fought, he was in a coma for 10 days because of the exhaustion. Even the ship doctor said that he might not be able to wake up. Fortunately, Yuri's spirit is strong enough and resilience is also strong, so that he can wake up. However, although mental exhaustion is difficult to recover, after every mental overdraft, the spirit will grow to a certain extent. In addition, Yuri's spirit was originally much stronger than ordinary people, so he used gravity and repulsion at will. In spirit, Yuri is actually a little monster. Are you just like that, Doflamingo? If that's the case, then it's over, Yuri said. After speaking, he ignored the fierce bullets that were constantly killing him, and instead reached out a hand to aim at Doflamingo. Doflamingo's face changed, and at this moment, Yuri grabbed his hand and Doflamingo's whole body was distorted. Puff. The terrifying twisted pressure made Doflamingo vomit blood. Little lord. What happened? The space next to the young master suddenly twisted. What kind of power is this, and how did Gabriel Yuri do it? Is the Four Emperors so scary? Seeing Doflamingo vomit blood, everyone in the Don Quixote family said in shock. The monster, is it? This is not the ability of the fruit of magnetic force, nor is it repulsion and gravity. How did it do it? Even Doflamingo couldn't imagine it. Now the two-pole collapse force field is becoming more and more perfect, and a pinch of the two-pole force field immediately causes the distortion of the space. Even Doflamingo can't see how to do it. Want to know? I will satisfy you now, Yuri said with a smile. While speaking, Yuri's palm opened, and Doflamingo immediately felt a gravitational force drag him towards Yuri. Doflamingo was shocked, and immediately used the string fruit ability to hold himself, and at this moment a repulsive force was acting on him. Two opposing polar forces, under the simultaneous action, the space is elongated and distorted. A wave of twisted pressure swept across, and the internal organs seemed to be crushed instantly, and blood was spit out fiercely, too. The distorted force field disappeared, the corner of Doflamingo's mouth was full of bloodline, his eyes were full of horror, and he rapped his chest with one hand and said, "It's boiling over, magnetic fruit can do such a thing, it's a monster." After enduring 2 poles of annihilation force field, Doflamingo seemed to be okay. But in fact, Doflamingo has suffered tremendous damage in his body. If the others weren't dead now, they would have been severely injured and had no combat effectiveness. Doflamingo used his line to fix the internal organs, which stabilized his injuries. As long as you can think of it, you can do it. Everything that is reasonable and unreasonable is possible. Paramecia devil fruit sometimes exceeds your imagination, Yuri said lightly. Doflamingo's face became gloomy. 950. He had to admit that he did have a big gap with Yuri in the development of devil fruit. No, you can't go on like this, you will die if you go on like this, you have to think of a way. Doflamingo's eyes shrank, and he quickly thought of various methods in his mind, hoping to think of a way to break the game. Young master, go quickly, the 4 emperors are not something we can deal with right now, quickly retreat, I will break. At this moment, the whole earth shook, and great changes took place. The entire earth and the palace were deformed, and pressure was directed against Yuri in all directions. Stone fruit's ability. Yuri said lightly, speaking to Yuri, there are already a large number of soil thorns and soil pillars spurring towards Yuri. It turned out that after seeing Yuri's terrifying power, Pica and others understood whether Yuri could be dealt with. Even their young master, Devil Fruit, cannot break Yuri's defense when they are awakened. So at this time they started to retreat and escape. Although Rosa is good, but compared with his life, what can be counted? Shinra Tianjung. At this moment, Yuri said lightly. The terrifying repulsion rushed out from Yuri's body in all directions. Therefore, the pierced soil pierced and smashed and shattered, and even the pressed wall was blocked. Universal pull. Yuri suddenly said lightly against a wall at this time. With a bang, the wall burst. I saw a person being sucked out of the wall by a strong gravitational force. This person is Pica, one of the highest cadres of the Don Quixote family. Only you want to play tricks in front of me? Who do you think I am? Yuri said lightly. Pica. Toripal and others exclaimed, their faces in disbelief. Those who know Pica's ability, the stone fruit ability, can blend into the stone to control the stone battle. If circumstances permit, his power may even be stronger than their young master Doflamingo. The highlands of the kingdom of Red's Rosa are a good battlefield for Piccoli. The most important thing is that he can walk in the stone. It is difficult for others to hurt his real body. But in Yuri's hands, Pica had no resistance at all, and was easily subdued, and was directly sucked out of the wall. Just as everyone was exclaiming, a coil of white thread flew up and wrapped Pica in an attempt to drag him back. Huh. Yuri snorted coldly, and did not compete with the white line. He squeezed his palm directly, and a 2-pole collapse force field appeared, crushing Pica's body heavily. Being crushed by the distorted force field of the 2 poles, Pica vomited blood, his eyes turned white and lost consciousness. Fortunately, his physique is strong enough, otherwise he would be killed directly by this blow. Go on. When everyone in the Don Quixote family saw this, they attacked Yuri at the same time. Half-a-month funeral, slimy launcher. Blast. Weapon transformation, missile girl. Snowstorm, everyone in the Don Quixote family issued their own tricks to Yuri almost at the same time. They knew it was time to desperately. The other party was the real monster four emperors. If they couldn't stop him, their Don Quixote family would be wiped out today. Shinra Tianzheng. Seeing the attacks coming one after another at the same time, Yuri glanced lightly, and then a force of ultimate horror came out of him. All the attacks in the next moment, as well as the master who performed the attack, were all repelled by this powerful repulsive force. Huh. Suddenly Yuri raised his eyebrows, and just performed my Shinra Tianzheng, only to see a huge drill bit made of thread, twisting towards Yuri. The drill bit made up of this thread is much larger than the sacred fierce bomb just now. A closer look will reveal that this is a unit of 16 sacred fierce bullets, and the power of 16 sacred fierce bullets is assembled. The drill bit carries the extremely powerful armament Haki, and the drill bit rotates at high speed, attacking the repulsive barrier in front of Yuri like a steel drill. Black thunder and lightning flicker. Finally, under its attack, the barrier shattered. This trick calculation is a bit interesting. I have the strength, but unfortunately it is still far from dealing with me. Shinra Tianzheng, Yuri said. While speaking, Yuri raised a palm, and the terrifying repulsive force gathered on his palm, and a light ball-like physical energy appeared on Yuri's palm. In the next moment, the ball of light exploded, forming a terrifying flood of incomparable repulsive force, which came out with a mighty impact. The terrifying repulsive impact instantly in Doflamingo's big drill line impact. Under this torrent of repulsive force, the color Haki armed on the big drill was instantly shattered, and then the line on the drill broke apart inch by inch. For the past year Yuri has been training and developing devil fruit. However, he seems to have reached a bottleneck in the development of devil fruit. In the past year, he has not developed any devil fruit capabilities. On the contrary, Yuri has made some improvements to some of the previous abilities. The trick that Yuri uses now is Tianchong, which has been improved by Yuri. The repulsive shockwave that came out of the impact was more violent and more destructive than before. Destroy everything wherever you go. Seeing such power, everyone in the Don Quixote family looked desperate. Is this the four emperors? It's really horrible. This is really a desperate power. Everyone in the Don Quixote family was desperate, and all their attacks couldn't even make Yuri move. Coupled with Yuri's Shinra Tianzheng and Tianchong, the terrifying power made everyone feel desperate. But at this moment, there was a glimmer of hope in the eyes of all of them. It turned out that at this moment, a ball of thread emerged from behind Yuri, and a person came out of the thread. This person was the sugar of the Don Quixote family. Everyone in Don Quixote family knows the power of sugar. She is a Paramecia childlike fruit ability person. As long as she is touched, even if she is strong, she will become a toy in an instant, and no one will remember his existence. Now the sugar is so close to Yuri, you can touch it with your hand, if Yuri is touched by the sugar. Young master, it must be young master. Everyone can't help but think of something. That's it really deserves to be the young master. Just now I tried my best to break Gabriel Yuri's repulsive barrier, just to send sugar to his side. As long as sugar's hand touches Gabriel Yuri, then they win. No one can resist the ability of sugar. Sure enough, their young master, the natural king, was able to think of such a way. At this time, sugar was standing behind Yuri, and Yuri could be touched by reaching out. Everyone could not help but raise a hope. But at this moment, Yuri suddenly turned his head and looked at Sugar. What do you seem to be doing? Sugar was also shocked when Yuri suddenly turned her head. Master Yuri, please forgive me. I'm only 10 years old. As long as I can spare me, I am willing to be a bull and a horse for you. Sugar knelt directly in front of Yuri at this time, with an extremely pitiful look on her face, and at the same time she grabbed Yuri's thigh with her hands, as if she was begging Yuri. When Sugar grabbed Yuri's thigh, everyone in the Don Quixote family smiled triumphantly. Haha, even if you add Emperor Yuri, no matter how strong it is, it won't be our way in the end. That's right, Gabriel Yuri, you will become a toy for a lifetime. No, Gabriel Yuri is too dangerous, so let's just kill it at that time. Well, even if it becomes a toy, Gabriel Yuri is also a powerful toy. Maybe it can give us Don Quixote family one more combat power. When they saw the thigh that Yuri had reached by the sugar hand, everyone in the Don Quixote family felt that the overall situation was settled. Now Yuri will be turned into a toy by Sugar. They laughed wildly. It was just too scary, too desperate, too dangerous. They need a vent, so now that the overall situation is settled, they immediately laughed wildly. But gradually they found something wrong. No, why not? Why didn't Gabriel Yuri become a toy? Why are you still looking at them with a mocking look? The ability of granulated sugar has failed. No, it's impossible, never before. Was it that Sugar didn't use its power on him? Sugar betrayed them? Impossible. Impossible. But why? Everyone once again showed a look of suspicion and despair. It seems to disappoint you, Yuri said with a smile. Why, Sugar? Doflamingo said angrily. Doflamingo's face is extremely ugly. In the face of Yuri, he counted and finally felt that only this way could get them out of danger. So he desperately broke the repulsive barrier in front of Yuri. He used Yuri to use the Shenluo Tianzhang to sequence the attacks of Diamandi and others to open such a gap, and with the strongest strength, he finally broke the repulsion barrier. Then used Devil Fruit's awakening energy to turn all the surrounding ground into white lines. Using the white thread to hide, send the Sugar behind Yuri. Everything is to be able to make Sugar meet Yuri. When Yuri turned his head and looked at Sugar, Doflamingo was really frightened, thinking that everything was over. Fortunately, the Sugar was clever and deceived Yuri by kneeling down and begging for mercy and grabbed Yuri's thigh. At this time Doflamingo is more excited than anyone else. Gabriel Yuri, no matter how strong it is not calculated by me. You are looking for everything, you are arrogant, you look down on everything, you despise us. He thinks that his devil fruit is superb, he despises everything, and he deserves to be calculated into a toy. So although he didn't laugh wildly just now, he was happier than Toripel and others in his heart. But everything was as he thought in the process, but the final result was completely different from what he thought. Sugar meets Yuri, but Yuri does not turn into a toy as he thought. Why? Is the Sugar's ability down? Or is Yuri not afraid of Sugar's devil fruit ability? The ability of granulated sugar is almost lawful, and it is absolutely impossible to fail. Then there is only one possibility, that is, Sugar betrayed him and betrayed the family. Thinking of this, Doflamingo angrily asked Sugar why. Because Sugar's betrayal also completely knocked them out of the abyss of despair. Young master, I'm sorry, I failed. Sugar turned her head, with a crying expression on her face. At this time, everyone saw that the Sugar hand actually did not touch Yuri at. There is a thin, colorless barrier between Sugar's hands and Yuri's thighs. It was this barrier that blocked Sugar's hand. Her hand didn't touch me. You seem to be disappointed. Is there any way of her hand? Yuri said with a faint smile. Hearing Yuri's words, everyone in the Don Quixote family shook their heads desperately, saying that there was nothing like this. At this time, Yuri grabbed the Sugar hand, and stretched out the other palm, facing the Sugar hand. A pair of palms that need to touch Sugar with his own palms, like her. The relative distance between the two hands is only 30 centimeters. Looking at the two palms with only techniques together, everyone in the Don Quixote family couldn't help but raise something called hope. A look of expectation appeared on his face. In the eyes of everyone's expectation, Yuri's hand slowly approached the Sugar's hand. Getting closer, seeing Yuri's hand is about to touch the Sugar's hand. But there is an invisible repulsive force between the two. The closer Yuri's hand gets, the more Sugar's hand is blocked back. The two are like the two poles of the world, which can never be really touched. Seeing everyone here is desperate again. There is no way to get close. There seems to be a force blocking it. Is it Gabriel Yuri's repulsion? Asshole, is this guy playing on us? The people of Don Quixote said angrily. This is not an ordinary repulsive force. The positive and negative poles of the relative force field are like the positive and negative poles of a magnet repelling each other. A layer of positive and negative two-pole relative force fields are arranged on my body surface for 24 hours, which can help me keep all attacks out. Attacks will never be destined for me, just like the positive and negative poles will never touch, just like this. Yuri's hand pushed hard, it was about to collide with the Sugar's hand. However, the closer, the stronger the repulsion. A terrifying repulsion was formed, and the Sugar was knocked out and hit a stone pillar heavily, and then. Don't talk about this little girl in your family, even if you Doflamingo wants to break it, it's almost impossible, Yuri said lightly. In the past year, Yuri has developed a two-pole relative force field exercise method in order to exercise mental power and devil fruit. Originally, the two-polar relative force fields were only used by Yuri to protect himself when fighting. At first, it was only available when devil fruit was awakened. Later, it can also be used in normal state. But this year, Yuri used it to exercise his mental power and devil fruit. So try to use it 24 hours a day without interruption. After a year of continuous exercise, Yuri's mental power has continued to improve. Finally, it can be used 24 hours a day, so that it can be used like instinct. This not only allows him to exercise his spirit and devil fruit abilities all the time, but also allows his body to move a protective barrier all the time. Monster, is it? Hearing this ability, Yuri said, especially when he knew that he could protect Yuri 24 hours a day, Doflamingo said in disbelief. Sugar has lost consciousness. At this moment Toripel exclaimed. No, once granulated sugar loses consciousness, the toys he turned into will recover. Now Dress Rosa is going to be a mess. Others also said in shock. Sure enough, as soon as their words fell, the whole Dress Rosa began to become confused. After all, Doflamingo is an outsider. The Riku kings have been operating in Dress Rosa for so many years. They have always been gentle and humble. They have a high prestige in Dress Rosa. They suddenly became crazy and murderous civilians. This kind of thing will naturally be suspected. Is it someone who's doing it? And the Don Quixote family's arrival is too coincidental, and many people wonder if there is a conspiracy among them. So when Doflamingo became king, there were definitely many opponents. But in just a few days, these opponents disappeared, and even the people in Dress Rosa did not remember that there were opponents. Because all opponents have been turned into toys by sugar, all have lost the memory of their existence. These opponents are quite a few people. After Sugar was in a coma, all of them instantly recovered into human bodies. The memories that were forgotten because these people have become toys in the past come back. At this time everyone understood that it was the ghost of the Don Quixote family, so they gathered in front of the king's heights and asked the Don Quixote family to give an explanation. Moreover, Sugar not only turns humans into toys, but also some animals, beasts, and beasts into toys. With Sugar's coma, these animals also recovered and caused great turmoil. It's boiling, chaos, chaos. Now is not the time to worry about this. Now the most important thing is to solve the monster in front of you. If you can't solve him, everything is meaningless. The white line of the wild waves. Doflamingo said with a sneer. A large number of white lines turned into waves and swept towards Yuri, turning into a big trouble to break Yuri. Shinra Tianjung. Yuri said lightly, and immediately all the white lines were blown away by him. But Doflamingo didn't let it go. The white line of constant control rolled frantically towards Yuri, trying to break Yuri. After a period of panic, Doflamingo knew that he wanted to deal with Yuri. Some cleverness was useless. This one in front of me is one of the 4 emperors, a monster. How could some cleverness work on him? Since being clever is useless, if you want to survive, you have to work hard. Doflamingo thought carefully about the information about Yuri. He found that Yuri was indeed very strong. He had fought against Big Mom, expelled 4 Admiral-class combat powers from Marine, and made Whitebeard retreat without success. It is said that he once left serious injuries on Kaido. But their battles ended very quickly. It was completely different from the monsters of New World who fought and moved more than one day and night. Soon Doflamingo came to the conclusion that it was not that the fighting time was not long, but that it was not possible to fight for a long time. Gabriel Yuri developed Devil Fruit Ultimate, which is extremely powerful, but these powers are not obtained in vain. The mighty power is bound to be accompanied by huge consumption. Although Gabriel Yuri can develop Devil Fruit to Ultimate, his body cannot keep up with his Devil Fruit power, so he can only fight for a short time. In other words, he is not invincible. As long as he consumes his energy, we will win in the end. Thinking of this, Doflamingo uses the Devil Fruit ability madly, constantly attacking Yuri with wild waves and white lines, and lures him to use the Devil Fruit ability. Everyone in the Don Quixote family also understood Doflamingo's meaning, and furiously attacked Yuri. Want to consume my energy for a long time? Who do you think you are? Big Mom? Kaido? Or a monster like Whitebeard? If this method works, Lousy would have died long ago. Woolen cloth. Yuri naturally understood Doflamingo's intentions quickly. Since entering New World, the opponents I have faced, I don't know how many have such ideas. I thought I would be able to defeat myself in this way, but the final result was all in jeopardy. Want to consume my energy? Don't you think you are a monster like Big Mom and Kaido? Yuri feels underestimated. Thinking of this, a chill flashed in Yuri's eyes, and the next moment Devil Fruit awakened. The strong magnetic field converges towards Yuri. Shen Luo Tianjung. The same as Shen Luo Tianjung. Before Devil Fruit awakens and after Devil Fruit awakens, they are completely 2 concepts. The terrifying repulsion repelled it in all directions, instantly destroying everything around it. Quality. Article 7 chapters, Kaido, not the one to mess spitting on others. What happened? The palace, even the palace instantly disappeared. In the end, what happened to you? Palace High Ground. Dress Rosa of residents in shock at the Royal Palace Heights. Just a powerful force will destroy everything. High Ground had ornate palace, even an instant disappeared. Palace High Ground in the end what happened? Devil Fruit ability Don Quixote family suddenly disappeared, together with the palace on High Ground movement as Don Quixote family caught something? Someone attacked Don Quixote family. Cyrus looked up and looked toward the Royal Palace Heights. Moved his ready highland away toward the Royal Palace. He needs to know as soon as possible the palace on high ground what happened. Brother. Cyrus just ready to go to the palace on high ground, when suddenly there was a voice behind him said. Reality. Cyrus looked back and saw that behind him there was a girl dressed head punta windbreaker. This girl is a princess Reality dress Rosa too, is now Don Quixote family violets. What happened above? Cyrus asked. His ability to know Reality and be able to see all the palace high ground occurred. 4 emperors, is one of the 4 emperors Gabriel Yuri on it, good horror. The moment will be the palace destroyed. Don Quixote family not rivals. Maybe today we demons, Don Quixote family will be people all off. Rubio Wright says. Doflamingo library is to force the king and people as a threat. Reality joined Don Quixote family, become the power of Violet Don Quixote family. When Yuri had just appeared, and the crowd did not Reality Don Quixote family together. But when the fighting began, she saw with her ability. Did not think the mighty Don Quixote family could be so powerless in the face of Yuri. She ran down from the palace, wants to rescue Dungeon Father. It was beaten unconscious Sugar at this time. Cyrus changed back to human. She also remembered the memory of Cyrus, so she immediately found Cyrus. Even now almost everyone Don Quixote family of high ground in the palace, but there are still many dungeons La fall in their guard. She is difficult to rescue a weak woman his father, so she needs help habitat Cyrus. She explained the situation to Cyrus. 2 people immediately toward the dungeon away, took the opportunity to force libraries to rescue the king say. It really is to be a terrorist. This is the 4 emperors' power? The same devil fruit awakening, Gabriel Yuri how power would be so horrible. Is it true, as he says, devil fruit arousal and awakening is different right? Maybe he has devil fruit development to a higher level than the awakening. No, never heard, there is a higher realm than the devil fruit awakening. But the other side 4 emperors, definitely not common sense measure monsters, others not, maybe Gabriel Yuri can, and Gabriel Yuri on devil fruit development but has extraordinary talent, maybe he will develop better devil fruit realm, his devil fruit or else how could such a horror? Such attacks we can consume his strength it? Just under the terror of repulsion, everyone Don Quixote family have been playing inverted out, but fortunately Doflamingo saved them with the white line, or else certainly shot flew high ground. And so it shares power is gone, everyone looked up one by one to reveal a look of horror. Everything in front of me has been completely unrecognizable. The original palace has disappeared, leaving only some solid pillars, which proves that there was a solid palace here. Universal pull. At this moment Yuri's voice sounded, and a terrifying gravitational force appeared. The terrifying gravity reappeared, and Doflamingo couldn't help but flew towards Yuri by the gravity. 1,000 arrows penetrate the heart and feather strike. Doflamingo shouted, the line spear pointed towards Yuri. Boring. I don't want to play anymore, Yuri said lightly. The figure disappeared in the same place for an instant while speaking. Reappearing has crossed the Doflamingo attack and appeared in front of Doflamingo. Millions of repulsive punches. Yuri punched Doflamingo's body, and the terrifying repulsive force turned into waves that hit Doflamingo one after another. Doflamingo was flew upside down again, hitting a damaged huge pillar heavily, and his entire body fell into the huge pillar. Ahem. I don't want to play anymore. I shouldn't be able to play anymore. Devil Fruit's awakening consumes a lot of you. Doflamingo coughed up blood and said. It seems that I underestimate you, so I can continue to speak. Shinra Tianzheng, shock. Yuri picked up a repulsive impact bomb and shot it towards Doflamingo. Shield white line. Doflamingo shouted, and 2 huge white lines flew and crossed, turning into a superimposed shield to resist the repulsive impact bomb. The defense of this move was good, and it actually blocked the repulsive impact bomb. Late, is it blocked? So what? Shenluo Tianchong. A huge beam of light burst out from Yuri's palm, destroying everything. The line white shield shattered inch by inch under this beam of light. Shield white line 5. Looking at this huge beam of light, Doflamingo's face changed drastically. The horrible repulsive beam of light gave him a sense of death crisis. Under the threat of death, Doflamingo frantically used the devil fruit ability. The huge pillar behind him became a white line, and the ground became a white line. The crazy riot of the white line created a line shield to resist. However, in the awakening state of Yuri devil fruit, Shenluo Tianzheng, the sky rushed down, and the line white shield was destroyed one after another. Finally, the repulsive beam hit Doflamingo fiercely. But fortunately, with the buffer of those white shields just now, when the beam of repulsive force hit Doflamingo, it was almost consumed. Boiling, it's a terrifying power, but I still bear it, Gabriel Yuri, you can't kill me today. Doflamingo was covered in blood, his injuries looked extremely serious, but there was a smile on his face. Yuri didn't look at him, but looked towards the sky. I've been here so fast, I would have stopped playing, but it seems that Kaido values you more than I thought, Yuri said lightly. The sky was densely covered with dark clouds, and a huge dragon head slowly emerged from the dark clouds. The dragon head opened the huge dragon mouth, and the terrifying breath blasted towards Yuri fiercely. Sighing, shield of size. A huge shield of size appeared above Yuri. Kaido's breath struck heavily on the shield of size, and the shield of size shook unceasingly. But there is no way to break this shield of size anyway. After much time, Kaido's breath disappeared. Hey, Kaido, don't just spit on other people's heads. Yuri looked up and said lightly. What is that? Dragon. Is there really a creature like a dragon in the world? Really, it's the dragon, he's breathing, it's terrifying. What should I do if I spray here? Seeing the giant dragon appearing in the dark clouds in the sky, everyone in Dress Rosa was panicked. They were taken aback. Many people have already fled. After all, they are just ordinary people. Facing such a monster, it seems that there is a horror like a natural disaster, and they dare to stay here for a long time. After defeating a few cell guards, Cyrus, who was driving Violet to the underground cell, also felt the violent vibrations around him. At the same time, seeing Violet stopped, cold sweat was coming out. Cyrus couldn't help but asked in confusion, what's the matter with Princess Violet? Dragon. A dragon in the sky, so terrifying. His aura is not weaker than Gabriel Yuri, one of the 4 emperors, and he seems to be here to help Doflamingo. Dragon? Is it not weaker than Gabriel Yuri, one of the 4 emperors? Is it him? Cyrus frowned. Do you know what brother-in-law? Violet asked. I also accidentally heard the pirates talk about New World's 4 emperors, Kaido of the beasts, like you are demon fruit power. He is a zone dragon fruit capable person, can become an extremely terrifying dragon. He is probably the one who saw you. Cyrus said with a very ugly face. How come? Another 4 emperors, is Dress Rosa going to become the battlefield of the 4 emperors' monsters? Violet said palely. We should hurry up and rescue King Riku now. This place has become extremely dangerous, Cyrus said solemnly. Cyrus understood that there are many monsters in the world. And 4 emperors are monsters among monsters. If the person is really Kaido of the beasts, then this place may become the battlefield of the 4 emperors. Too frightening, huh? What a troublesome ability. The breath in Kaido's mouth disappeared. Seeing that his breath hadn't broken the shield of Sai, Kaido snorted angrily. You don't have the right to say that others are troublesome, and you always slobber at me. Kaido, are you going to go to war with me? Gabriel Yuri, Doflamingo is my person, you have crossed the line. Kaido didn't transform back into a human body, so he coldly said to Yuri with a dragon body in the thundercloud. Doflamingo is yours. I remember he should be one of the Shichibukai of the world government. Why are you preparing to cooperate with naval headquarters to fight with us? Are you or a Shichibukai? Yuri said. Gabriel Yuri, who do you think I am? To destroy you, you still need to cooperate with the world government? Shichibukai, are you humiliating me? Kaido shouted. If someone else teased him like that, Kaido would have slapped him to death. But the one in front of him made him very jealous. Then should you explain it? There are things I can't tell you, you just need to know that Doflamingo is useful to me, Kaido said. Isn't it a man-made devil fruit? Why is it so mysterious? Yuri said lightly. How did you know? Doflamingo told you. Kaido asked gloomily. But then he saw that Doflamingo was also surprised, and he was also extremely surprised that Yuri would know this. When this guy was in the first half of the Great Sailing Road, the play wanted to pass me once. I naturally couldn't spare him, so I have been paying attention to everything about him. If you want a man-made devil fruit, you don't necessarily need him. This you can ask me to cooperate with me in this matter. He is just a middleman, someone who can make artificial devil fruit. I also know that I can ask him to make it for you. Then you can find me to trade, Yuri said. Impossible, only I know about this, and only I can do it. Doflamingo said, he had a bad feeling. Mgaisa Karang. Yuri said a name faintly. Immediately, Doflamingo's face changed drastically, and there was no voice. He is there, give him to me, Doflamingo is yours. Kaido knew from Doflamingo's expression that this matter was true. That won't work. In any case, we are also in a hostile relationship. We will hand that person to you directly. That is an enemy, and I have no plan to cultivate an enemy, Yuri said lightly. However, we can trade after Karang creates the artificial devil fruit. I heard that your lair Wanokuni has a good knife, Yuri continued. What if I must? Kaido said coldly. Hearing Kaido's words, Yuri smiled slightly and said, I think you will give me this face, right? While speaking, a flying knife appeared in his hand. The extremely huge repulsive force was condensed and compressed on this flying knife, causing the flying knife to exude a terrifying blade. Seeing the throwing knife in Yuri's hand, Kaido's eyes narrowed. Are you threatening me, Gabriel Yuri? Do you think I will be afraid of you? Your little flying knife can't hurt me. Kaido yelled at Yuri. Doflamingo is also very surprised by Kaido's attitude. Under what circumstances, how do you feel Kaido is afraid of Giada Yuri? There is a feeling of hysteria. How come? I just think you will give me such a face. Kaido, let us discuss it carefully. You have to be considerate of me. But I was asked for once in a ruthless scene. Such a guy, you will easily, can you let it go? In that case, where do I put my face? Kaido, right? Yuri said. Bobs, Lord Kaido, the man who made the artificial devil fruit is indeed Mgai Sakalang, but now only I know he is there. As long as you can save my life, I am willing to hand him over. Here you are. Doflamingo said. It seems that people can't give it to you yet, Yuri, Kaido said. As he spoke, Kaido rushed down, and black lightning flashed on the dragon's claws. This is not a trembling lightning, but Armament Hockey's ultimate performance. Thundering 8 trigrams, Kaido came out and hit Yuri with a heavy blow. At the same time, the dragon's tail rolls up, rolling up Doflamingo. It seems that a battle is inevitable. Yuri dodged Kaido's attack, and at the same time the throwing knife in his hand disappeared. No one saw how his flying knife disappeared. When the flying knife appeared again, the flying knife had already shot Kaido's tail around Doflamingo. Block. This time the throwing knife did not shoot through Kaido's body as easily as last time. Kaido was obviously careless last time, and didn't think a throwing knife could threaten him. But this time when he saw the throwing knife in Yuri's hand, Kaido had already raised his vigilance to the maximum. Although Yuri's flying knife is still incredibly fast, observation Haki is fully open, and Kaido, who is fully open with insight and perception, still feels that the target of the flying knife is there. So the first time Armament Haki was gathered there to resist the throwing knives. The throwing knife collided with Armament Haki, sparks flickered, and black thunder and lightning flickered fiercely. The flying knife kept hitting Kaido's Haki, the terrifying repulsive force compressed on that little flying knife, turning it into an extremely fearful blade. With incomparable sharpness, Kaido's Haki is constantly torn apart. Doflamingo, who was curled by Kaido on his tail, also looked at the horror of the knife in shock. With observation Haki, he can clearly see the horror of the blade on the flying knife, the force that repels everything and tears everything. Even his invisible observation Haki is torn apart when he leans on it. This is really terrifying. Even if Doflamingo has learned the horror of New World from intelligence, he is still frightened. At this moment, Doflamingo suddenly heard Kaido scream. I saw Kaido's terrifying armament Haki was torn apart by the blade of the 950 flying knife. After the knife blade ripped open Kaido's armament Haki, it pierced Kaido's body with a flying knife, causing the blood of Kaido's dragon tail to splash out. Asshole! Kaido roared and saw Doflamingo fall off his dragon's tail. It turned out that Kaido's dragon's tail was shot through. For a while, the dragon's tail lost its feeling and could no longer wrap Doflamingo, so Doflamingo fell from the dragon's tail. Universal pull. At this time Yuri had a universal pull, and Doflamingo was directly sucked into his hand. Doflamingo is completely unable to resist now. In fact, he is still alive now because his string fruit is connected to various parts of his body, otherwise he would have died after suffering such a serious injury. As soon as Doflamingo was sucked into Yuri's hand, he saw a huge dragon claw with a terrifying armament Haki calling. Shinra Tianzhong, the sky collapsed. Yuri shouted and punched out at the same time. Yuri punched out, and the unparalleled domineering repulsion burst into Yuri's fist. Boom. 2 terrifying forces exploded in the air. The repulsive force and the invisible armament Haki kept colliding in the air. In the end, the dragon claw was hit back hard. It's boiling over, it's really a group of monsters, Doflamingo said with a smile. Although he is seriously injured now, although life and death are now in the hands of others, Doflamingo does not seem to be worried at all now. Because he has already seen that Yuri has no intention of killing himself directly. At least now there is no meaning to kill oneself. Otherwise, the knife just now had already been shot on his body. Of course he didn't think Yuri would let him go, maybe he wanted something from him. But it doesn't matter, as long as he has value, he can survive. As long as he survives, he has the opportunity to crawl out of hell, but he has seen a man in hell. There is no danger of life, Doflamingo has a little more calmness. But soon his calmness was broken by Yuri and Kaido's blow. The force of horror struck right beside him, less than a few meters away from him. Feeling such a terrifying power impact at close range, Doflamingo was extremely frightened. To know that such a terrifying power only needs to leak a little bit to him, it is enough to tear him to pieces. It was terrible. Doflamingo felt that he was only a few meters away from death. Fortunately, Yuri repelled Kaido in the end. If Kaido's power is suppressed, he will also be implicated. The thought that I just felt like my life has no worries disappeared without a trace. At the same time, he was secretly shocked by Yuri's strength, and hit Kaido's attack with a punch. And what did he see? The dragon claw that Kaido had just hit was bloody after being beaten back, and Kaido was injured just after the blow. Haha, Kaido, you have become stronger again, Yuri said with a smile. Gabriel Yuri. Kaido frowned secretly. Yuri's words are exactly what Kaido wants to say. Last time, I didn't expect Yuri's attack to be so terrifying, so I was caught off guard. Now that I took out a full blow, plus the full thunderous 8 trigrams, it was still not Yuri's opponent in this blow. The power of Yuri's move is stronger than last time, and to be precise, it is more perfect. The repulsion force of Yuri's punch just now is not more than last time, or even a lot weaker, but the power it exerts is stronger than before. Needless to say, this trick has also been greatly improved by Yuri. After Yuri used this trick before, his arm was almost disabled. So even if this trick is terrifying, it is not worth the gain. If it is not improved, this trick will only be sealed and not used. To optimize this trick, his continuous experiments will eventually compress the repulsive force on this fist and limit it to the range that his arm fist can withstand. In this way, it is no longer what it used to be, and the arm is almost disabled after one move. But the power is much weaker. Fortunately, with the improvement of the spirit in the past year, the control of the repulsive force has become stronger and stronger. As the control of repulsion becomes stronger and stronger, this trick does not become weaker as the repulsion decreases, but it improves a lot. Because under Yuri's control, the repulsive force is more concentrated, the explosiveness becomes stronger, and the power of the explosion naturally increases. Kaido, today you have the face, you have to give, and you have to give if you don't. The two poles are fissioned, and the sky is angry, Yuri said coldly. While speaking, Yuri put Doflamingo in his hands aside, folded his hands together, and the magnetic fields around the world converged, turning into repulsive force and gravitational force to compress between Yuri's hands. Yuri's hands slowly pushed away, and a planet appeared between Yuri's palms. Why is it a planet instead of a light ball? I saw that this small planet is composed of strong gravitational and repulsive forces. The center of the planet is a black ball of light, which is compressed to ultimate gravity. The shell is a terrifying repulsion, chaotic but orderly rotation. There is also a ring on the periphery of the planet, which is a halo formed by the fusion of gravitational and repulsive forces, with a twist on the halo. It looks exactly like a planet. Seeing Skywrath in Yuri's hand, Kaido's eyes narrowed. This trick in Yuri's hands gave him an extremely dangerous feeling. Observation Haki kept warning, reminding him that this attack would kill him. This move was originally Shinra Tianwu. It can be said to be Yuri's strongest trick. It was this trick that hit Kaido so hard that it took him several days to recover. However, this trick consumes too much physical strength or mental strength. Basically, after one move, it is difficult for oneself to have much extra energy. Therefore, this move can only be used as a must-kill move, and has the effect of a one-hit kill. However, although the original Skywrath was powerful, it could not achieve a one-shot kill effect against monsters like Kaido. So Yuri completely improved it. In the past, Skywrath only condensed the repulsive force of compression horror. After improvement, Yuri added gravity to it. Once Skywrath explodes, gravitational repulsion and impact will produce even more terrifying power. It's like an atomic bomb exploding and fissioning. 1 + 1 far exceeds 2. So Yuri calls him polar fission, Skywrath. Powerful, Yuri once used a trick to completely erase everything on an island. This is because Yuri caused Skywrath to explode in the midair of the island, just the power of the shockwave that exploded. If it is a direct attack on an island, whether that island can exist or not is still a matter of 2 points. Legend has it that ancient weapon Pluton can destroy an island with a single shot. Yuri's move is definitely not weaker than it, or even stronger. If it weren't for too much consumption, Yuri could completely rely on him to neutralize the world. Hey, this is not a joke. Doflamingo looked at the fission of the poles in Yuri's hand, and his face was full of panic. This thing is too dangerous. If it explodes, Yuri and Kaido will die or not. He doesn't know that he is absolutely dead. Even the entire dress Rosa will be destroyed. With observation Haki, he can clearly perceive the horror of Skywrath. He was shocked when he saw it. Hi, Gabriel Yuri, do you want to die together? This trick exploded, and you can't even think about it, Kaido said coldly. Don't worry, I am very sorry. I really can't resist this trick when it explodes. But I will self-exile myself. You should have heard of it. I once exiled Garp Sengoku and others to the sea in an instant. So you die and I won't die. Yuri said with a smile. Yuri understands more than anyone how terrifying the power contained in this trick. The power it exploded would definitely be countless times more terrifying than Kaido and the others saw. If you are affected by this trick, Yuri don't want to survive. Moreover, its attack range is extremely large. Once it comes out, the entire dress Rosa will be in its attack range. Ordinary interstitial movement can't help him avoid such an attack. The only way to make him avoid such an attack instantly is to exile himself. Use the violent repulsion to repel yourself to a far place instantly, so that you can escape this trick. Do you think this trick can kill me? I am immortal Kaido of the beasts, Kaido said. Then try to see if you are really immortal, Yuri said with a sneer. Hearing Yuri's words, Kaido was silent for a while and finally said, Doflamingo can be handed to you, but after the artificial devil fruit is manufactured, it must be sold to me. No problem, happy cooperation. I'm not interested in the artificial devil fruit, which has some serious flaws, Yuri said. I don't care if it is lacking or not. As long as I can improve my strength, it is enough. In this world, only strength is the most important, Kaido said lightly. Ah, I'm not as crazy as you guys, Yuri said with a smile. I'm waiting for your news. I hope you don't let me wait too long, Kaido said coldly. After speaking, the Kaido dragon's body twisted and rushed into the high-altitude clouds at a very fast speed, leaving as fast as lightning in a flash. Hehe, I left quickly, so what should I do with you next, Doflamingo? Yuri turned to look at Doflamingo and said. Young master. Everyone in the Don Quixote family looked at Doflamingo worriedly. Just now Yuri Kaido fights, they dare not say a single nervous sentence. Although this battle was only a short while, it completely made them feel the horror of the four emperors, understood what kind of existence the four emperors were, and understood the gap between them. At this time Kaido retreats, and there is only one Yuri left, no helpers, their destiny will be fully controlled by Yuri's hands. They are not only worrying about their young master Doflamingo, but also worrying about their fate. But Doflamingo did not worry as much as they did. It's boiling over, if you wanted to kill me, I would be dead. You want something in my hands, so you won't kill me. You are very smart, you do have many things I need, such as the wealth of Don Quixote family, your intelligence network, your black and white channels, and your subordinates. I am going to take over all of them, so congratulations. You won't die until I take over these, Yuri said lightly. Bob, you are really greedy, but your eyes are not good. Don Quixote family is not the most important thing, Doflamingo said with a smile. Oh, you mean to say, the most important thing in the Don Quixote family is you, Yuri said lightly. Broken up. I can bring you a return beyond imagination. You are just taking away the Don Quixote family now. If you have me, you can get a Don Quixote family dozens of times larger in the future, Doflamingo said with a smile. Ah ha ha, Don Quixote family, which is dozens of times larger, I am moved by what you said, Yuri said lightly. However, I don't like trouble the least. I don't want to put a lion majesty beside myself who wants to bite myself anytime. Yuri. Hearing Yuri's words, Doflamingo's smile disappeared. At the same time, Yuri pushed the poles in his hand to fission, and the sky was angry. That day, the anger flew straight to the sky, and in a blink of an eye, the sky rose to a height of tens of thousands of meters. Then it was like an explosion in the universe, destroying everything around it, and the white light enveloped the sky, and the shock wave formed by the explosion turned into a hurricane and hit Dress Rosa. Even if it is separated by tens of thousands of meters, you can feel its horror. Everyone at Doflamingo looked at the sky in amazement. It's terrifying. Is this really human power? This attack is more terrifying than they thought. Fortunately, it exploded in the sky above tens of thousands of meters. If it exploded here, the entire Dress Rosa would be wiped out. Cyrus and Violet, who had just rescued Riku from the dungeon, suddenly felt that the entire cell was shaking. Or the whole earth is shaking. King Riku and Cyrus looked around in exclamation, not knowing what was going on. Violet looked stunned and shocked. What's the matter, Violet? Is this movement caused by the battle between Gabriel Yuri and Kaido? Cyrus asked. Gabriel Yuri? Kaido? Isn't that the four emperors of New World? King Riku, who was just rescued, had no idea what happened. How could the four emperors of New World appear here? Dress Rosa is really troublesome. No, Kaido has retreated. The shock just now was because Gabriel Yuri threw an attack tens of thousands of meters into the air, and the aftermath of that attack hit Dress Rosa, Violet said. What, the aftermath of an attack at an altitude of tens of thousands of meters? There is such a terrifying power, and I feel that the whole dress Rosa is shaking, Cyrus said. Gabriel Yuri is too terrifying, not only repelled Kaido, if his kind of attack explodes in dress Rosa, it can wipe out the entire dress Rosa in an instant, and I am afraid that even the scum will not be good. Violet is still terrified to this day. Isn't it? Erase the entire Red's Rosa instantly, King Riku said in disbelief. At this moment, suddenly Violet saw something, his face changed drastically. What happened again? Cyrus and King Riku asked at the same time. Gabriel Yuri let us pass, he wants to see us, Violet said palely. It turns out that just now Yuri wrote on a broken wall that Violet can see here, let her bring King Riku here, Yuri wants to see him and so on. Upon hearing Violet's words, Cyrus and King Riku looked at each other in horror. Upon hearing Violet say that Yuri let them go, King Riku and Cyrus dared not neglect, and hurried towards the palace heights where Yuri was located. This is a monster that can destroy dress Rosa. When they came to the palace high ground, when they saw the situation here, Riku and Cyrus all showed horror. Although Cyrus already knew that the palace was destroyed, he did not expect it to be destroyed so thoroughly. As if completely erased, let alone King Riku. It is better if Violet has seen the situation here. Haha, you are all here, Yuri said with a smile looking at the few people who appeared. I have seen Lord Gabriel. King Riku looked at each other and said respectfully. The monster in front of me can easily destroy dress Rosa. If the other party is not happy, the whole dress Rosa may be over. Don't be so polite, you are also the master of a country, Yuri said with a smile. Broken up, the lord of a country. Can a waste that can't even be protected by your own kingdom still become the lord of a country? Doflamingo said with a sneer. You. Cyrus glared at Doflamingo. Indeed, the old man is ashamed. When he encountered the pirates, he didn't have the power to protect the country at all. It really disappointed the people, King Riku said. It's okay, you can't protect it. Why don't I help you protect it? Yuri said with a smile suddenly. You? King Riku looked at Yuri in surprise and said. That's right, from today, dress Rosa will be the country of my Gabriel Pirate Asylum. I will put Gabriel's pirate flag here. Whoever dares to fight dress Rosa as a declaration of war against the Gabriel pirates, Yuri smiled, said. Upon hearing Yuri's words, King Riku and others fell silent. Their dress Rosa is a member of the world government. If they accept the asylum of the pirates, they are likely to be kicked out of the member country of the world government. And the four emperors Gabriel Yuri in front of him is definitely not protecting dress Rosa unconditionally. King Riku, the lesson is right in front of you. Doflamingo is the Shichibukai of the world government. He persecuted dress Rosa in this way, even seized the dress Rosa regime and became the new king of dress Rosa. The world government had no reaction at all, and even directly admitted King Doflamingo dress Rosa. Status, what is good for such a world government franchise? And a large amount of heavenly gold needs to be paid every year, aren't you tired? Yuri said. Upon hearing Yuri's words, King Riku frowned. The world government does have improprieties, but it is precisely because of the world government joining the country that dress Rosa has been able to survive until now. If you quit the world government joining the country and get your blessing, you may be able to get a moment of peace, but how can you protect it? The first life, said King Riku. Although Yuri is strong, the Gabriel pirate group is also strong enough to protect dress Rosa from the pirates. But the Gabriel pirate group, is it the pirate group after all? The pirate group has always risen with the captain of the pirate, and has declined with the captain of the pirate. When there is Yuri, the Gabriel pirates are the four emperors of New World. Without Yuri, the Gabriel pirate group is an ordinary pirate group. Even when Yuri dies, the entire Gabriel pirate group may be torn apart. Who said I can't protect your life? I just want to establish a pirate dynasty, Yuri said lightly. Also, I am not discussing this matter with you. Hearing Yuri's words, King Riku realized that the four emperors in front of him was a more terrifying existence than Doflamingo, and he had no right to refuse. Dressrosa is willing to accept the asylum of the Gabriel pirates. I don't know what else the captain needs us to do. King Riku took a deep breath after recognizing the facts. Boiling up, Doflamingo laughed at Nien. Accepting the asylum of the Gabriel pirates is to become an affiliated country of our Gabriel pirates. Our Gabriel pirates will send a monitoring agency to supervise the kingdom, and abolish some inappropriate laws and regulations of the kingdom. The army, of course, recruits the crew of the outer front on the basis of the people's willingness, but there is a special call-up order that cannot be refused. For example, I will call Princess Violet to join our Gabriel pirate group. Big news, Shichibukai Doflamingo was defeated by four emperors Gabriel Yuri in dress Rosa. Don Quixote was defeated and Shichibukai Doflamingo was arrested. Kaido discovered that Dressrosa was defeated in a battle with Magneto. King of Dressrosa Riku claimed that the world government did not act and allowed Shichibukai to persecute Dressrosa. He also supported the pirates to overthrow the kingdom's power. The newly formed Shichibukai suffered a major blow. Whether Shichibukai can become a force to resist the four emperors and balance the situation of the sea is worthy of scrutiny. Doflamingo is defeated. Shichibukai's strength is questioned. Broken. Sengoku slapped the newspaper on the table and said angrily, "Gabriel Yuri, how could he go to Dressrosa?" Hearing Sengoku's roar, no one in the office answered. This incident is really unexpected. No one thought that Yuri would suddenly appear in Dressrosa. Suddenly shot Shichibukai and defeated Doflamingo. If it weren't for the newspaper report, they wouldn't even know about it. This is really troublesome. Sengoku said. It was not because a Shichibukai was defeated that made Sengoku feel troubled. One Shichibukai was defeated, just find another one. What really troubled Sengoku was that Shichibukai's prestige suffered a huge blow. Originally World Government Marine, Shichibukai was established to establish a third force in the sea against the four emperors. But now that Shichibukai has just gathered, one Shichibukai has been defeated. Although it was one of the four emperors who defeated Doflamingo, it is understandable that he was able to defeat Shichibukai. However, Shichibukai's prestige still suffers a huge blow, and many people will wonder whether Shichibukai can really afford to balance the third power of Marine and four emperors. One Shichibukai is easily defeated, and the other Shichibukai will also be easily defeated, so will the balance of the sea be easily broken? For the Shichibukai plan established in the controversy, it will be more questioned, and the next plan will be more difficult to develop. And this time about Shichibukai's conquest of a kingdom was also reported. Sengoku has a hunch, the next World Government Conference, how much noise this matter will cause. It may even make Shichibukai cancel it. Now we should do something to restore our prestige this time. At the same time, we must let Shichibukai take action and use our strength to dispel everyone's doubts. Otherwise, it is very likely that Shichibukai will be banned, Suru also said. I will call a Shichibukai meeting later on this matter to inform them that it is not difficult to restore their reputation with their strength. Now there is a question, how should we deal with Doflamingo, save it or not? Sengoku said. Originally Shichibukai was defeated and defeated. The defeated Shichibukai is not eligible to become Shichibukai. But Doflamingo's identity is a bit special. He not only used to be celestial dragons, but also has huge channels and energy for both black and white. He was defeated. If he was killed, or captured by Marine, it would be fine. But he is not dead now, and has fallen into the hands of the four emperors. This is a little troublesome. You know that he has a lot of secrets and channels in his hands. If these secrets and channels are controlled by the Gabriel pirates, it will greatly enhance the strength of the Gabriel pirates. Crane. Why did Gabriel Yuri suddenly act on Doflamingo? Since I have defeated Doflamingo, why not just kill him, but arrest him instead? Did he know that? Since Doflamingo has been defeated and has become a prisoner of the four emperors, then that secret is not safe, and Doflamingo will be wiped out at all costs. I don't want that secret to be leaked out. At the same time, World Government 5 elders said to the masked man. Yes, said the masked man after hearing the order. He did not hesitate because the mission involved four emperors. After speaking, he disappeared between the rites of 5 elders. Gabriel Yuri is getting more and more presumptuous, and he can't let him continue like this. After seeing the masked CPU disappear, A5 elders said. It's really gone. The Garu kingdom has continued to use their methods. I heard that 300,000 people have been looted from the Garu kingdom. The Garu kingdom has already complained, saying that it is not enough to absent from work. I hope what can the world government do, and now it is trying to peep into the realm of God. It's really time to deal with it, but this Gabriel Yuri is difficult to deal with. Judging from the information collected, his combat power is not weaker than that of Whitebeard. His strength is indeed very strong, but is it impossible to deal with it? Pure demon fruit power has many weaknesses. As long as he plans well and finds the opportunity, he will get unexpected gains. Now that Shichibukai has also gathered together, plus the 3 naval headquarters, Sengoku and Garp, it is completely possible to fight a war to eliminate the 4 emperors. Let's take the Gabriel pirates first. Yes, but let Sengoku plan well. Although we have the advantage of forces, the opponent is the 4 emperors after all. There are other 4 emperors who are ready to move, and we must reduce casualties. Agree. No comment. Send Sengoku to come and discuss it. Hehe, you are really popular, Doflamingo. This is the 3rd wave of your assassins. On a boat, Yuri smiled and said to Doflamingo, who was tied up in a seastone chain. After solving Dressrosa's affairs and signing a treaty of the attached Gabriel city with King Riku, Yuri asked King Riku to prepare a ship. Then Yuri took the Don Quixote family and left Gabriel City, including Dressrosa's Princess Violet. But after sailing for a few days at sea, killers assassinated on their ship every day. Their goal is Doflamingo. If it weren't for Yuri's powerful observation hockey, as well as electromagnetic cannon detection, as well as Violet's pupil fruit ability, I'm afraid I can't cope with these careful assassinations. It's boiling over, that's that. I have the biggest secret about the world government. Wait, the killer will come in batch after batch, like moths. Doflamingo lies in the cell in the boat, said with a smile. Isn't it the secret of Celestial Dragon's big secret treasure? What's so strange? Yuri said lightly. Hearing Yuri's words, Doflamingo's smile disappeared, and his face was full of surprise. Are you so surprised now? You didn't know that I was a person who could read other people's brainwaves, Yuri said with a smile. Who are you lie to? It's boiling over. If you can really read other people's brainwaves, you don't need to ask me for information. It's not easy for you to want information, Doflamingo said with a smile. Well, there will always be some restrictions. For example, I can read that you know the secret of celestial dragons, but I can't read what the secret is, but you guessed it, but it's the so-called ancient weapon. 1. Maybe you still need the authority of your celestial dragons, so celestial dragons will be offered up like gods, haha, I guess I was right. Seeing Doflamingo looking at him with extremely shocked eyes, Yuri said with a smile. What did Doflamingo say? I didn't expect celestial dragon's big secret treasure to be. Yuri showed a surprised expression. Captain, you have done another big business this time. The whole sea is a sensation. Now Marine is busy turning around because of this. I won't take us to such a fun thing, isn't it too interesting? That's Shichibukai. Lousy wanted to cut it down a long time ago. The captain heard that you were still facing Kaido in Dressrosa? After returning to Gabriel City, Bonus and others complained to them. Sorry. Well, who asked Doflamingo to ask me? I have to get it back no matter what, so I had to destroy his pirate group, Yuri said with a smile. Hearing Yuri's words, everyone laughed. But Captain, you seem to have stabbed a hornet's nest this time. The number of spies who appeared in Gabriel City during this period has obviously increased several times, and each of them is very strong. It is found that the CP0 of the world government has been returned. There is no peace. Robin suddenly became serious and said. Hearing Robin's words, Bonus's face became more cautious. During this time, some spies in Gabriel have obviously increased a lot. Especially from the CP organization of the world government, other bonuses do not care, but even the CPO of the world government has to pay attention to it. The highest spy agency of the world government, each of CP0 has the strength of Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral, Grandmaster Marine 6 styles. The most important thing is that they are not as dignified as Marine Vice Admiral in fighting. Assassinations, sneak attacks, poisoning, alienation, etc., to specifically identify the weaknesses of others to start, can be described as omnipotent. During this time, Bonus and the others also learned about these CPO methods. Originally, Bonus wanted to take them down or drive them away. But after several fights, they were not able to please. Only then did they realize the difficulty of CPO. Ah, don't worry, I have found a good helper for you this time. Yuri snapped his fingers. The door opened and a girl came in. This is the Princess of Dressrosa, Violet. I specially invite her to join our pirate group, the Interformation Sequence Knight, codenamed Robin. She will be a member of your intelligence department in the future. She is the pupil of the fruit ability. Her clairvoyance can see the entire Gabriel City at one glance. With her CP0, she will be invisible, and she also has the ability to observe the mind. She will have no secrets in front of those spies, and she will assist you in catching those spies, Yuri said. Great, so I can clean up those CPO guys. Hearing Yuri's words, Bonus and others all showed excitement. They all understand how such an ability will have a huge effect on catching those spies. With this ability, they are confident that they can take down all the bastards. Yuri, what should I do with those in the Don Quixote family? Robin asked. Yuri defeated Doflamingo, but he only put Doflamingo in jail, but the rest of the Don Quixote family did not. Instead, they were placed in the city of Gabriel. Sugar and Baby 5 followed Robin, and Monet entered the Shira crowd as trainees. She is a Logia Devil Fruit ability person. If you train and cultivate it, it may become a good combat power in the future. As for the others, arrange them first. In the Garu Kingdom, they still have a plan to speed up the devouring plan of the Garu Kingdom, Yuri said. Actually leaving no Sugar, Yuri hesitated. Sugar's ability is too dangerous. If one is not good, she might overthrow the Gabriel pirates. Later, I learned through understanding that, in fact, the ability of Sugar can be limited. Don Quixote family is also very afraid of the ability of Sugar. The reason why I dare to use her recklessly is because she signed a contract with the Don Quixote family. This is the ability of the childlike fruit. For example, after the toy signs a contract with her, the toy will follow her words and cannot attack the Don Quixote family. And the Don Quixote family also signed a playmate contract with Sugar, and her ability cannot be used against Don Quixote family members. Because they are playmates. The world government is really crazy. It's just a Shichibukai. Is it necessary to be so crazy? Blair cut off the head of a man in a suit and said. At your 3 o'clock position, 500 meters away, in a black suit. At this time, Brian said with a voice from the headset in his ear. Understood. Brian said, and immediately chased in the direction of the target. This game of hunting and anti-hunting is playing in the city of Gabriel. Recently, a large number of CPOs sneaked into the city of Gabriel. Their goal is Doflamingo, but they are not here to rescue Doflamingo, but to kill Doflamingo. And in these CP0s, it seems to be at all costs, very crazy. How can Gabriel City 967 make them wanton? Therefore, Bonus led the Shura and CPO to start a hunting and anti-hunting battle, with the assistance of the major squads. In terms of assassination and hunting, CPO is undoubtedly the most grandmaster. If it were before Bonus, they might not have been their opponents, but they are different now. In Gabriel City came a man with clairvoyance and pupil fruit ability. In her eyes, things in Gabriel City are more difficult than her. Under her monitoring, a famous CPO was accurately found and eliminated by them. Some powerful Yuri even killed them personally. What are you doing to eat? The loss is so great that you didn't even touch Doflamingo with a finger. Among the rights of 5 elders' expression was very difficult. The subordinates miscalculated. At first, I thought it was because the Gabriel pirates had a strong control over Gabriel City. Later, I learned that Princess Violet of Dress Rosa is a pupil with the ability to achieve clairvoyance, and she is there. All our actions are invisible. A CP0 wearing a mask was kneeling in front of 5 elders. The loss of more than 30 CP0 and hundreds of CP organization elites in January is the biggest gaffe since the establishment of the CP organization. 5 elders said coldly. Yes, the subordinates are willing to take full responsibility. The CP0 lowered his head heavily. Forget it. You can't be blamed for this matter. Seeing the CPO's attitude of admitting mistakes so well, a 5 elders said. Thank you 5 lords. 5 lords, do you want to continue the Gabriel City mission? However, there is now that pupil with the fruit ability exists, and some sneak attacks have no effect on him. It is difficult for ordinary CP0 fighters to break the defense of Gabriel City. If you want to succeed, if you do, you need to send an instructor, said the masked CPO. When the masked CPO said the word instructor, 5 elders became serious. Under the banner of world government, Marine and CP are military institutions of the same level. Marine has 3 Admiral, Marine Marshal strategic powers. As an organization of the same level as Marine, it is impossible to have no strategic force. The strategic power of CP0 is a group of existences called instructors. They are instructors who teach CP0, and this masked CPO is one of the instructors. Each instructor of the CPO has Admiral-class combat power and is equipped with Devil Fruit, which is the most mysterious power of the world government. Forget it. Okay, a month has passed. Gabriel Yuri probably already knows the secret, or let Gabriel Yuri know that world government is not something he can provoke at will. After a while, there was a 5 elders spoke. But in this way, Gabriel Yuri can't let him go. Let Sengoku speed up. The other party is 4 emperors, and Sengoku can't be anxious to plan success. It's really hard to be anxious. Choosing a favorable battlefield can guarantee a one-shot kill against Gabriel Yuri. When the war starts, CP can send instructor to fight. The other 5 elders said. One day Marine is very busy now. Because Shichibukai's prestige plummeted, the sea, which had just stabilized, rioted again. At the same time, Marine also needs to coordinate Shichibukai and select a new Shichibukai candidate. During this time, Marine executives held frequent meetings again, as if they were planning something. In terms of combat power, it is sufficient, but if you want to win Gabriel Yuri, you need to plan properly. And, there is also a need to prevent Gabriel Yuri's ability to expel. With Gabriel Yuri's ability, if he wants to escape, it is almost impossible for someone to stop him, so we must have a condition that prevents him from running away. Also, the Gabriel Pirates is not like 2 or 3 big cats and kittens as before. He can now pull at least 10,000 or more military personnel. If mobilized, it is expected that the force will reach 30,000 or more. 2 or 3 big cats and kittens. The big cats and kittens of the Gabriel Pirates are the most terrifying. They can slash the bonus with the colorless armament hockey slash, and the Kemp of the zone monster species Titan Great Ape. Ashby, the top swordsman, and Brian, the ability to determine the fruit, each is an extremely difficult guy. The Shura people. It is indeed a group of troublesome guys, each of which has a strength of at least 700 or 800 million, especially Bonus, whose bounty can be raised to 1 billion Baileys. In the office of the naval headquarters, a secret meeting is going on. Participants in this meeting are Marine E, Admiral Akainu, Kizaru, Aoyo, Marine Chief Staff Crane, Marine Hero Garp, and Marine Marshal Sengoku. This time, Marine will gather 100,000 troops, Shichibukai, 3 Admiral, and Garp and me. The world government will also send strong to assist. This time the plan to destroy Gabriel must succeed, Sengoku said. The most important key point of this plan is to create a battlefield that is beneficial to us and that Gabriel Yuri cannot escape. Nico Robin will be the key to the success of the entire plan, he said. Ahem, Nico Robin. Some trouble. Now Nico Robin is in charge of the decree of Gabriel City. If you want to capture Nico Robin in their base camp, you might as well go directly and go to war with Gabriel Yuri. Kizaru. This choice of battlefield at naval headquarters is undoubtedly the best for us. Nico Robin can take it slowly and there will always be a chance. After more than a month of hunting and anti-hunting, the world government seems to finally realize that it is impossible to kill Doflamingo in Gabriel City. So gradually CP0 completely withdrew from Gabriel City, and Gabriel City regained its calm. Seeing Gabriel City restored to its calm, Yuri's heart felt a little uneasy. Was it observation hockey's warning or something? Yuri felt that someone was calculating himself. Is it world government Marine, or other 4 emperors? How do they want to calculate themselves? These Yuri don't know. Even if the Giadi pirate group has controlled the Don Quixote family's news channel, they still haven't noticed anything. But Yuri believes in his own feelings. He knows that someone must be planning a conspiracy against him. So Yuri trained harder. No matter who the enemy is, what the enemy plans, what conspiracies are brewing. As long as you become strong enough to exceed the enemy's expectations, you will be able to deal with it calmly regardless of any conspiracy the enemy has. Gabriel Domain, in the palace where Yuri lives. Yuri sat cross-legged in a hall, he closed his eyes tightly, and a cold sweat broke out on his forehead. Up and down his body, thunder and lightning flashed. These lightning bolts are constantly jumping on his skin, on his muscles, and on his cells, constantly tempering Yuri's muscle cells. Yuri is now trying to use these lightning to exercise. Yuri thought about using electricity to stimulate an exercise. Yuri can control the magnetic force, which can be converted into electricity. Then use the magnetic field in the electricity to control the electricity. However, Yuri's control over electricity is really limited. There is no way to do whatever magnetic force does, and there is no way to directly control it like repulsive force. Therefore, using electricity to exercise is actually very dangerous for Yuri. Carelessness may cause irreparable injuries. However, he felt that a crisis might be brewing and he needed to improve his strength, so Yuri had to try to use this method to improve his physical strength. After all, everyone knew that his physical stamina was poor, and the battle of the 4 emperors level could not last forever. If you are the enemy, you will definitely deal with yourself from this aspect. Yuri will dare to count his people when he is about to come, and will shock everyone. But now the trouble is, how to control the amount of electricity, and how to use electricity to temper the body. It's not just casually using thunder and lightning on the body for a while, even if it's tempering the body. That would be more likely to electrocute yourself or cause serious injuries. It seems that I have to find some experiments. Yuri stopped the thunder and lightning that was flowing around his body, and said thoughtfully. While speaking, he picked up the phone on the side and made a call, and then someone pressed several prisoners into the hall. It didn't take long for a miserable scream from the hall. While Yuri was busy experimenting with the method of using thunder and lightning to train, a message came out from the Garu kingdom, which shook the entire sea. The kingdom of Garu, a country with a population of nearly 10 million, a well-equipped army of 300,000, and the richest minerals in the world. Overnight, the beams and columns were changed, and it became the territory of the Gabriel pirates. For a time, the entire sea shook, and countless forces staring at the Garu kingdom, the world government, and the large pirate groups, couldn't believe it. It turns out that with the increasing population of Gabriel City, the wasteland of Solomon Island has been developed more and more, and it has become a piece of fertile farmland. In addition, Solomon Island's food is cooked 3 times a year, and most of these food will be purchased by the Gabriel pirates and then sent to the Garu kingdom for sale. More and more grains entered the Garu kingdom market, because the price of food in Swimming Men Island was low, and the taste was good, and it quickly occupied the entire Garu kingdom's grain market. In a year, more than 90% of the food of the Garu kingdom comes from Solomon Island. Because the food on Solomon Island is cheap, the price of food in the entire Garu kingdom has also been suppressed very low, which makes many civilians very happy. But at this time, the price of grain in the Garu kingdom suddenly doubled in just 1 month. It turned out that someone was buying grain on a large scale. However, because the price of food in the Garu kingdom has been kept low this year, even if it doubles, it will only return to the original price. But the rich and noble merchants of the Garu kingdom didn't care about it at all. They didn't care about this little money at all. They were still indulged in the enjoyment of red wine and greenery. Although the civilians are a little dissatisfied, it is useless. They have no right to speak. Moreover, they didn't say anything when food was so expensive before, and naturally there is no way to say anything now. However, a few months later, news came that Solomon Island was hit by fires and insects. This year, the grain output has been greatly reduced, so exports have been stopped. Immediately, many food merchants put up signs that the food was sold out. Although some grain merchants did not sell the food, they also increased the price of grain by a large margin. For a while, the Garu kingdom caused panic. A large number of civilians began to rush to buy food, and the price of food in the entire kingdom of Garu immediately rose, rising again and again, rising more than 10 times in just 1 week. This shocked the royal family and nobles. The royal family immediately announced that it would purchase grain from the world government and other kingdoms to supplement the domestic grain shortage, which temporarily stabilized the situation. But soon there was news that the ship going to buy food was shot by pirates and the food was gone. At this time, the Garu kingdom really panicked like never before. Because apart from the royal family, nobles, and wealthy families, the common people don't have much food in stock. At this time, even if you have money, you can't buy food. Then someone provoked a little, and there were riots in various parts of the Garu kingdom. The civilians who had no food captured the residences of nobles and rich men and robbed them of their food. The kingdom originally had 300,000 regular troops, enough to cope with everything. Although there are many civilians, most of them are unarmed old and weak women and children. How could they be well-armed opponents of soldiers? But if you want soldiers to fight, you have to give them food and grass, right? Now even the king doesn't have much food. There can be food for 300,000 troops. At this time when rich people can't buy food, who will fight for you without food? Therefore, the civilians did not encounter any resistance and easily captured the palace. They captured the king and most of the nobles. In order to vent the oppression they have been subjected to, they executed most of the royal family and nobles. But even in this way, there is no way to solve the plight of the kingdom without food. Then someone suggested that there is food in Gabriel City on Solomon Island. Gabriel City stores a large amount of food reserves every year, but these food reserves are for emergency situations, so they will not be sold out. But if they seek refuge in the city of Gabriel and become the people of the city of Gabriel, the lord of the city of Gabriel, they will definitely provide food to help them. So they sent someone to Gabriel City and asked to take refuge in Gabriel City. Gabriel agreed to their request and sent a large amount of food to the Garu kingdom. At the same time, send someone to take over the Garu kingdom. Why is there no report on this matter in advance? In a conference hall of the world government, 5 elders sat high and looked down at the people below. Among the people below are senior officials of the world government, the commander-in-chief of the world government, the CP organization is in charge, the marine marshal, etc. Every movement of everyone present is enough to make the sea paint 3 points. The so-called marine admiral, the third highest combat power, does not even have the qualifications to participate in this meeting. Because this incident was originally an internal matter within the Garu kingdom, the world government had no way to directly interfere, and we did not expect the matter to evolve into this point. The senior official of the world government said with a trembling expression. In fact, the Garu kingdom once asked the world government for help, but the world government will take care of the lives of the citizens of their kingdom. Even the Garu kingdom made a request, hoping to buy a huge amount of grain, and the senior officials of the world government took the opportunity to increase the price of grain and made a lot of money. In their opinion, the money of the local tyrants in the Garu kingdom is not made for nothing. As for the life and death of the civilians in the Garu kingdom, what matters to them? But even he did not expect that things would develop to this point. Did the CP discover nothing beforehand? 5 elders asked the head of the CP organization after taking a cold look at the senior official of the world government. How could they not know the character of these officials? It's just that the world government has always been like this, so they have no way to blame them. This matter was discovered by the CP organization early in the morning, but at first we didn't think that some civilians could cause any storms. When we found that something was wrong, the matter was out of control, but we discovered that this incident was a conspiracy. Someone pushed from the back, the guards of the royal family and the nobles were solved before the riot, and the black hand behind the riot was the original Don Quixote family cadre, and the one who assisted them was the underworld of the Garu kingdom. Capone Beeg, Gabriel City Chamber of Commerce. It is reported that these people are all from the Gabriel Pirates, the head of the CP organization said. As one of the largest kingdoms in New World in the largest mining country, the world government naturally arranges a large number of CPS there. With the ability of CP organization, it was discovered that the situation was wrong before the riot. But so what? The CP organization is an organization of the world government, and it is not responsible for the security of the kingdom and the lives and deaths of the people. Moreover, this incident has been a torrent from the outset, and no one can stop it unless you can bring in a large amount of food that day to solve the problem of food and clothing for the locals. That's a problem of food and clothing for 10 million people. Not to mention that the world government is not so minded at all. Even if it has that mind, it doesn't have that strength. In this world full of oceans, and in the most hostile sea area of New World, it is extremely difficult to transport supplies, and it is time-consuming, labor-intensive, and costly. That is, because Solomon Island is very close to the Garu kingdom, it can easily send food. In addition, Solomon has such a grain reserve. In other words, this plan starts with Solomon Island's control of the food lifeline of the Garu kingdom, and the end is doomed. Only Solomon Island can save the Garu kingdom. In other words, all of this is the conspiracy of the Gabriel Pirates. Five Elders' expression was very ugly. This is troublesome. After the Gabriel Pirates swallowed the Garu kingdom, it completely completed the transformation of the four emperors. If he can integrate the power of the Garu kingdom, his strength will even surpass other four emperors. A country with a population of 10,000. A five elders said with an ugly face. The CP organization must do everything possible to disrupt the Gabriel Pirates' integration of the Garu kingdom and delay their integration. Yes, I have ordered this matter to continue. The CP organization will send the elite Daga to the Lu kingdom to provoke the remaining nobles and some careerists to rebel. The leader of the CP organization said. The CP organization is also expert in instigating, bribing, and creating riots. You all leave. Sora and Sengoku stay. Yes. Sengoku, that plan must be expedited. If the Gabriel Pirates is able to integrate the power of the Garu kingdom, that plan will be several times more difficult. Five elders can rest assured that this plan is already in preparation. A large number of ships brought food into the Garu kingdom and sold them to the people at the lowest price. And sent some homeless people to Gabriel City. Finally, the Garu kingdom gradually calmed down. At the same time, Beeg, as the person in charge of the Garu kingdom, took over the army of the Garu kingdom and drew a part of the elite to join the Gabriel Pirates' outer front. Finally, 10 outside squads were formed, as well as the attached Garo City Guard and Garo City Guards. At this time, Yuri announced the establishment of the Giadi dynasty with Garu and Garu as the center. As the emperor, Yuri controls all the military and political affairs of the Gabriel dynasty. The government will govern the government affairs of the Canadian Empire, the military will command the foreign forces, and the ministers will be appointed to manage the affairs of the Gabriel dynasty. A large number of schools were opened in the cities of Gabriel and Garo, allowing civilian orphans in the cities of Dire and Garo to enter the schools for free. Various factories have been set up, and city palaces have been built so that everyone has a job. After a series of actions, Garu City finally came back to life again. Giadi dynasty lie. Gabriel Yuri really wants to be the emperor, but being able to swallow the Garu kingdom in one fell swallow, Gabriel Yuri is much harder than imagined. Kaido sneered after hearing the news. Mama really deserves to be Gabriel Yuri. He did not expect that he would have the same thoughts as the old lady. The Gabriel dynasty, from now on, there has been a person on the sea that can compete with 4 emperors, naval headquarters, and world government. Country, said Big Mom. Mom. The Gabriel Pirates swallowed up the Garu kingdom, which is not good news for us. This means that the Gabriel Pirates officially have the capital to fight for the hegemony of New World. Then they will expand and compete with us for control of the sea. The war between the 4 emperors will start again. Perispero said worriedly. Mama, wrong. The first enemy of the Gabriel Pirates is not us, but the entire world government. Do you think the world government will be swallowed by the Gabriel Pirates of the Garu kingdom? That is a country with a population of tens of millions, and controls 10% of the world's iron ore. The Gabriel Pirates has already touched the taboo of the world government. Look at it. It won't take long before the world government will make big moves. Big Mom said with a sneer. Are you trying to tell me that Robin disappeared like this? Yuri said coldly, looking at Bonus and other people, exuding a terrifying spirit. Feeling the horror emanating from Yuri, the cold sweat of Bonus and others burst out. Conqueror's hockey. Yuri hasn't released his conquerors for a long time. For one thing, his conquerors is not that strong, and it is so far from the other 4 emperors that Yuri doesn't want to be released and thrown into it. Secondly, the release of Conqueror's spirit will consume mental power. For others, the consumption of mental power has no effect on combat, but for Yuri, mental power is also part of combat power. The use of gravitational repulsion requires mental power, so there is no need to consume casually. But now as the Gabriel pirate group is getting stronger and stronger, he has also become one of the New World 4 emperors, the Lord of Gabriel City. Even recently, the Gabriel dynasty was established and became the emperor of the Gabriel dynasty. With the improvement of status, strength, and momentum, his spirit is also rising. As soon as they were released, Bonus and others immediately felt a terrifying deterrence covering them. The strength of this spirit is no weaker than other 4 emperors. There was news from Garu City 3 days ago that Robin's trail was suddenly lost, and then our side also launched all forces to search for it, but there is still no Robin's trail. This matter is probably not easy. Finally, Bonus said. However, with our current intelligence capabilities, and in the territory we control, we still can't find the trace of Robin for so many days. I am afraid that Robin is no longer on Garu Island. Moreover, with Robin's current strength, there are not many people who can defeat her, and they can do it so quietly. I am afraid that only the world government and Marine can do it, and I am afraid that there will be some assistance from Garu City. However, Robin's body was not found. Robin should not be in danger of his life. A few months ago, the Gabriel dynasty was born, and the Garu kingdom became a city of the Gabriel dynasty. However, after the Gabriel dynasty entered the ruler, Garu City indicated that although the Shang was calmed down, it was still turbulent in the dark and the undercurrents continued. In order to calm the waves in Garu City as soon as possible, Robin took people to visit Garu City to find a way to deal with the problems in Garu City. But I didn't expect that just a few days ago, news came from Garu City that Robin was missing. Garu City used all its power, but couldn't find out where Robin was or who made the move. Now he went there again. After the news came back, the Gabriel pirates used all intelligence channels and still failed to find out the whereabouts of Robin. However, according to various intelligence analysis, Marine has been acting frequently recently, and it seems that big moves are brewing. World government is also very suspicious, and it is only world government that can be so unconscious that it has this energy. It seems that I didn't dare to kill anyone, and I forgot that I was a pirate. 4 emperors. Bonus brought your Shira people over and cleaned up Garu City completely for me. All you need to do is give it to all suspects. I deal with it all, as long as the resistance is cleared. We don't need evidence, and our Gabriel dynasty doesn't need nobles who are not crew members, Yuri said. Yes, said Bonus with a look of astonishment. This is going to kill him. It seems that Yuri is really angry. Let Violet help you, Yuri said, clear. Then Bonus rushed to Garu Island with the Shira people. With his appearance, Garu Island immediately set off a bloody storm. The remaining nobles, some careerists who emerged in this incident. The righteous people who don't want to put Garu Island into the hands of pirates. As well as the world government spies who provoked everywhere, they were immediately hit hard. With Violet's clairvoyance, coupled with the intelligence and assistance provided by Big Toripal and others, all the discordant voices on Garu Island have been cleaned up. The heads of the people killed on Garu Island for a while, blood flowed into rivers. However, this immediately calmed down Garu Island. The powerful strength of the Asuras made everyone afraid to resist any thoughts. Only then did they remember that the Gabriel pirate group is the pirate group, and it is the 4 emperors pirate group, and their captain Gabriel Yuri is called the monster among the monsters. Captain, there is news from the deputy captain. Eden came to Yuri with a newspaper and said that day. There. Yuri asked. In and at Marine prison impelled down, Marine did it. They arrested the deputy captain and announced that the deputy captain would be publicly executed half a month later. Eden said in a newspaper. Yuri snatched the newspaper and read it. I saw a photo of Robin's hands chained up in the newspaper. Seeing Robin's embarrassed appearance, it seemed that he had suffered a lot of crime. The huge headline above says that Marine will publicly execute Nico Robin, the deputy captain of the Gabriel Pirates and the son of the devil, in half a month. Yuri knew what Marine was thinking at a glance. Isn't this a replica of Summit War? Marine is going to fight a Summit War against himself. Let the Shira people come back, Yuri said lightly. Within a day, Bonus returned to Gabriel City with the Shira people. Sure enough, Marine did it. Asshole Marine dare to attack the deputy captain of our Gabriel Pirates, and also publicly execute them. They are ready to go to war. I think their purpose of arresting Robin is not just to deal with Robin. Their goal is probably the captain and the entire Gabriel Pirates. Captain, give the order. We are now the Gabriel Pirates, but we are strong, and the Garu City side, even if it is no problem to gather 200,000 or 300,000 troops, Marine dare to take action against the Gabriel pirates, and we are overthrown. He impel down, and rescue the deputy captain. The Shura people are the fighting sect of the Gabriel Pirates group. Now some people dare to attack the Gabriel Pirates group, and even kidnapped Robin to be executed in public. Can they bear it? In the past few years, their strength has greatly improved, and their temperament and arrogance have also soared. The battle is naturally going to be a battle, and people have been knocked on the door, and there is a reason to be a tortoise, Yuri said lightly. Hearing what Yuri said, everything looked towards Yuri, just waiting for Yuri to order. Didn't they say that Robin will be executed publicly in half a month, and we will be upset when we quarrel him? However, we can't wait for half a month. Before that, I want New World to have no more Marine. I want you to destroy all Marine bases in New World within half a month and drive Marine out of New World. Mama, look, the world government has started. Looking at the newspaper in his hand, Big Mom said with a smile. Mother, sure enough, the world government arrested Nico Robin and executed it publicly. This is to force Gabriel Yuri to fight decisively, Perispero said. According to the information just received, Marine has summoned 100,000 Marine officers this time. All 3 Admiral have been recalled, and the newly established Shichibukai has also been summoned, Charlotte Daifuku said. 100,000 Marine officers, 3 Admiral, Shichibukai, plus Garp Sengoku. Marine's lineup is bursting this time, Owen said. In addition, there are a large number of Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral, giant troops. Don't take Vice Admiral seriously. Those Vice Admiral can also consume a lot of Gabriel Yuri's physical strength. Gabriel Yuri's combat power is also top level in the 4 Emperors. But his physical strength is definitely the worst among the 4 Emperors, which means that Marine can completely consume him, Keita Curry said lightly. But on the other side, the strength of the Gabriel Pirates is not small. After swallowing the Garo Kingdom, the Gabriel Pirates can use a lot of troops. You must know that the Gabriel Kingdom originally had an army of 300,000. Go to the original outer squad of the Gabriel Pirates, the affiliated army, and the most important thing is that their Shura people are also troublesome guys. Although they are not as powerful as Naval Headquarters, they add the terrifying ability of 4 Emperors Gabriel Yuri. In the end, it is not certain who wins and who loses, Dafu said. Although there are a lot of people in the Gabriel Pirate group, there are not many people who can really become combat power, and it is said that there are 300,000 people, but the 300,000 troops may be able to defend Garu Island. But if they are allowed going out to fight with Marine may not work, and there may even be a situation where the army will collapse as soon as the order is issued. After all, that is Marine. The prestige that Marine has built over the years is not a joke, especially for those kingdom troops, Cooley said lightly. Keita Curry can't really see Yuri's chance of winning. Faced with Sengoku, Garp, plus 3 Admiral, Shichibukai, dozens of Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral, Giant Vice Admiral, even if they let the Big Mom Pirates on this kind of combat power, there is no chance of winning. Mom. This time the Gabriel Pirates and Marine are in battle. Regardless of the victory or defeat, the Gabriel Pirates must have suffered heavy casualties. Can we take the opportunity to take the Garu Island? Perispero said. Mama, don't worry, if Gabriel Yuri is dead, Garu Island can't run. If Gabriel Yuri is not dead, then Garu Island is a hot potato, Big Mom said. For Yuri, Big Mom is still afraid. Beasts Pirates. To publicly execute the deputy captain of the Gabriel Pirates, it seems that Marine is going to fight the Gabriel Pirates, Kai said. Asshole. Gabriel Yuri is going to be unlucky this time. In the face of such a lineup, even if it is Giotti Yuri, I am afraid it will definitely die. Boss, should we take the opportunity to take his Gabriel City and Garu City? Last time the incident made Quinn very dissatisfied with Yuri. The fellow Gabriel Yuri is not that easy to die. If he is a bit tougher, maybe Marine will suffer a lot, Kaido said lightly, sitting high on the throne. Hearing Kaido's words, Yan and Quinn couldn't help but look at each other with a puzzled look. Faced with the strength of Marine, they couldn't think of Yuri's chance of winning. And Kaido's mind couldn't help but think of the 2-pole fission in Yuri's hand when he was in Dressrosa. Skyrath. Kaido was also very afraid of that move. Although he hadn't really seen the power of this move, but from the sense of danger at the time, this move might be a deadly move. But that trick is too powerful. In that kind of large battlefield where both sides are on the battlefield, once it is displayed, not only will it kill the enemy, but the person will also be destroyed. So Kaido said, Yuri is ruthless enough, if it is cruel enough, no matter what Nico Robin is, if you go straight to the sky and get angry, Marine will definitely lose a lot. I don't know if Sengoku Garp will survive at that time. The so-called 3 Shichibukai will definitely be dead. Marine, branch of New World 5, now Marine is not as embarrassed as later generations. There are many branches and branches in New World. But even so, the G5 branch is still the forefront of Marine in New World. On this day, the Marine of the 95th branch was patrolling. Suddenly Marine on the observation deck saw a ship appearing on the sea in the distance. Ship. I haven't heard that Marine will come over. Is it because the pirates are coming? The pirate flag. The pirates are coming. This flag is Gabriel Pirates. 4 Emperors Gabriel Pirates are coming. Marine on the observation deck saw a ship appearing on the sea, and immediately picked up the binoculars to take a look. At this look, his face was pale in exclamation. Then immediately picked up the alarm phone worm next to him and said, "The pirates are coming. It is the 4 Emperors Gabriel Pirate Group, and the pirate ship of the 4 Emperors Gabriel Pirate Group appears on the sea." The G5 branch immediately sounded a tragic alarm. Dust-splitting air slash. On this pirate ship, a figure quickly flew out of the pirate ship. In midair, Vice Admiral's 5-fingered arms turned into blades, and his hands were torn against the Marine branch. Just like that, the building of the 95 branch was neatly cut out piece by piece. At the same time, a large amount of Marine was also cut apart, and blood splashed. "Who are you? Why did you attack the Marine branch?" An old Marine Vice Admiral, covered in blood, rushed out of the ruins of the Marine branch and said, "War has already been declared, and I asked why I am. This is our captain's response to your Marine's declaration of war. From today, the Gabriel Pirates will destroy all Marine branches of New World," Bonus said lightly. Hearing what Bonus said, the Marine Vice Admiral showed a look of horror. "As long as there is an old man, you will never be allowed to do whatever you want in the 95th branch." Marine showed a decisive expression and killed him. Half an hour later, the 95th Division was completely wiped out. At the same time, news spread that the Gabriel Pirates wanted to destroy all Marine branches of New World. Mama, the Gabriel Pirates wants to destroy all the Marine branches of New World. It's interesting. My mother has long seen those Marines not pleasing to our eyes. In this matter, my mother is on Gabriel's side. Peros. I sent someone to destroy all the nearby Marines. Hey, good mother, now Marine is fully preparing for the battle. New World has no Admiral-class combat power anymore. It just happens to take the opportunity to wipe out all Marines. Lousy will help Gabriel in this matter. New World is the pirates' territory, and Marine is not allowed to show off here," Kaido said coldly. "Then let's dispatch 2, to completely destroy the title of New World Marine, but not all of them are taken by the Gabriel Pirates." 10 days later, the New World Marine branch was completely destroyed, and Marine completely disappeared in New World. 2. Damn it, if you knew it, you should scatter all the remaining Marines of New World. Is this the declaration of war by the Gabriel Pirates? Sengoku covered his head in pain and said. All the Marines around showed solemn expressions. The news that the Gabriel Pirates completely cleaned up the New World Marine branch quickly spread to Naval Headquarters, but before Naval Headquarters took action, all Marine branches of New World had been completely destroyed, and a large number of Marine branches were died in this incident. The most important thing is that there is no Marine branch in New World now, which is equivalent to Marine being completely driven out of New World. This is a major blow to Marine's prestige. Before the war started, this had a huge blow to Marine's morale. If you know that Yuri will make such a big move, Sengoku will definitely withdraw all the Marines of New World in advance. 967 In fact, because of the battle with the Gabriel Pirates, Sengoku has already withdrawn most of the New World Marines elite to Naval Headquarters. So that the strength of the major branches of New World Marine is empty, and they are easily destroyed by pirates. Sengoku also miscalculated this time, and he didn't expect Yuri to do such a fierce thing at this time. Because it is only half a month since Robin's public execution, and time is short, shouldn't the Gabriel Pirates prepare for war? How could he suddenly start working on the Marine branch of New World at such a time, so that Sengoku was not prepared at all? Big Mom and Kaido are also taking advantage of the fire, Doflamingo said. The 3 great pirates teamed up. Even if we eliminate the Gabriel Pirates in the future, our Marine's life in New World will be very sad, Kuzan said. What is strange now is that the war is about to come, but Gabriel Yuri has no intention of preparing for war. What is he thinking of? Sakazuki said. That's what I'm wondering. If the Gabriel Pirate Group is fully prepared for war, with Gabriel City and Garu Island under his control, even if the time is short, it is possible to take out 100,000 troops, but he is not prepared to assemble the army at all. The meaning of preparing for war, I'm afraid there are other plans, some people don't know the clue, he said. Is that guy afraid that he won't come? In that case, your plan, the Marshal, will be frustrated, Doflamingo said. Gabriel Yuri is not a brave person, but another plan is certain, Sakazuki said lightly. This time, Marine, Big Mom and Kaido who cleaned the New World also took action. Will Gabriel Yuri join forces with Big Mom and Kaido of the Beasts at the time of execution? If this is the case, we will face the three big thief groups at the same time, Kuzan said. Hearing Kuzan's words, all the Marines present became serious. If they would never think about this before, New World is so big, the rise of a Sea Emperor will inevitably infringe the interests of other Sea Emperors, so the four emperors have never dealt with each other, and there is absolutely no possibility of joining forces. However, when the New World Marine branch was wiped out this time, the three Big Mom beasts and the Gabriel pirate group took a tacit agreement, which made everyone wonder if the three large pirate groups had joined forces. Even if it gathers such a huge combat power, there is no chance of winning against the three great pirates at the same time. I have sent people to investigate the movement of the Big Mom pirates and Beasts pirates. Fortunately, from the information obtained, Big Mom and Beasts pirates are not prepared to participate in this battle, Sengoku said. Hearing what Sengoku said, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. As long as the Big Mom pirates, Beasts pirates, did not cooperate with the Gabriel pirates, then no matter what plans Yuri has, they are not afraid. After all, their combat power is there. The only worry now is whether Yuri will appear at that time. Will it follow their plan and come to naval headquarters to start a battle with Marine? The major forces in the world are also paying attention to this matter. Many people are also speculating about what the Gabriel pirates will do and what Yuri will do. At the same time, Big returned to Gabriel City. Big and Yuri talked secretly for an hour, and Big showed a look of horror during the whole process. Big left Yuri's palace when he was a child, then Big, as the commander-in-chief of the army, summoned all the captains of the outer squad and made a series of arrangements for them, as if they were ready to go to war. Time passed day by day, and in a blink of an eye it came the day before Robin's execution. The people on Garu Island discovered that the personnel of the outer squad directly under the Gabriel pirates did not know when they all disappeared silently. All don't know how they disappeared. At present, there are only attached guards and police forces in Garu City. Seeing this, some hidden resistance forces in Garu City's eyes lit up and immediately began to move. After all, it is a large kingdom, where foreign forces will occupy it when they say that it is occupied. Not to mention that the occupation here is still a pirate force. Even at the time, due to the need for food, many people had to succumb to the Gabriel pirates. But now the food crisis has disappeared, and some knowledgeable people have also seen that the whole thing is very weird. It is very likely that the Gabriel pirates is doing a ghost. In addition, the spies sent by the world government made a little provocation, and immediately a large number of opposing forces appeared on Garu Island. But these people also know the horror of the Gabriel pirate group, which is the Four Emperors pirate group, so the actions of the opposition forces are very secretive. Some time ago, because of Robin's affairs, Bonus led the Shura crowd under the command of Violet, and the killing of Garu City was rolling, showing that the opposition forces were uprooted, and all the opposition forces that scared them never dared to come forward again, completely hidden away. Some people are even more frightened and never dared to resist anymore. But this time the Gabriel pirates are going to fight Marine. This time, Marine has made enough preparations. With a huge lineup, everyone thinks that the Gabriel pirates has no chance of winning. Now I see that all the teams directly under the Gabriel pirates have disappeared. I don't need to think about it and know that they are going to naval headquarters, so the resistance forces have emerged one by one. Many of these resistance forces were hidden in the guards and police in Garu City. They gathered, led a team to attack the castle mansion of Garu City, quickly occupied the castle mansion, and announced that they would overthrow the rule of the Gabriel pirate group. Let's solve all the hidden dangers at once. At this moment, a place inside the city lord's mansion. The teams that everyone thought had followed Yuri to attack the naval headquarters came out of the castle in Bega's body. Except for Yuri and Robin, who was captured, all of the Gabriel pirates, including the Shura people, are all here. They didn't even go to naval headquarters to rescue Robin. Did they give up Robin? It's really a big lineup. Marine really took a lot of effort to deal with Gabriel Yuri, Crocodile said. Today is the day when Marine executes Robin publicly. Naval headquarters 100,000 elite, complete weapons and equipment. Cannons are erected one after another, guarding the sea. 3 admirals sit high on it, and 7 pirates in various costumes are standing in the marine. These 7 people are Shichibukai recruited by the world government. There are 100,000 marine elites gathered here. Dozens of them are Marine Vice Admiral, Giant Vice Admiral, and Marine's highest power 3 Admiral, Marine Marshal, Marine Hero, plus a Shichibukai, let alone Gabriel Yuri. Even if Whitebeard is here, I will be here today. Gecko Moria said with a smile. Indeed, playing a Gabriel Pirates with such a lineup would be too fussy. If you want to play, it should be Whitebeard, Crocodile said. I don't know much about Yuri and Shichibukai. I only know that he repelled Big Mom and Whitebeard, and then he became the Four Emperors. Moreover, it is said that he left Kaido with a serious injury, but that is only rumor, and no one knows whether it is true or not. Oh, by the way, Shichibukai Doflamingo was also defeated by Yuri, but what about it? The other party should be 4 emperors with such strength. For them, even if Yuri has the strength of 4 emperors, compared to other 4 emperors, the Gabriel Pirates is still too young. Without Yuri, it would be impossible for such a pirate group to stand firm in New World. In addition to them, there are many marine soldiers who have the same ideas as them. These marine soldiers are all marines conscripted from all over the world, at least ensign-level officers. But even so, they don't know much about New World. Not to mention that Yuri's rise has only been 2 or 3 years, and ordinary marine captains did not recognize Yuri's horror. Seeing such a huge lineup gathered today, I think it is easy to win Yuri today. Don't underestimate Gabriel Yuri. At this moment, on the execution stage, Sengoku said to everyone around him. I have fought Gabriel Yuri once. Although the time of the fight is not long, I clearly realize the horror of his ability. That time we concentrated 4 Admiral-class combat power, but we were driven away by his ability. Roman Island instantly appeared in other places in the sea, and could only watch the remaining subordinates being slaughtered by the Gabriel pirates. In other words, if we are not careful, our combat power will be scattered, and we will be driven to other places by the sea, unable to rescue here, then our combat power advantage will be wiped out. That is an existence that developed Devil Fruit to ultimate. From his hands, you can clearly experience the horror of Devil Fruit. Doflamingo, one of Shichibukai, was defeated by him without any resistance in front of him. So even if we have gathered so much combat power, if we care about it, we will lose in the end, Sengoku said. Hearing what Sengoku said, everyone became serious. Even Marshal Marine said so, all Marines had to be cautious. And listening to the Marshal, Yuri's expulsion ability is indeed troublesome. If Marshal Admiral's high-end combat power is expelled, then leave them ordinary soldiers to face the 4 emperors and the 4 emperors pirates. There was a shiver. Expelling? 4 emperors Gabriel Yuri's ability really depends on it. If you can't beat it, you can drive away the opponent directly. It is indeed a troublesome ability, which is similar to your ability. Moria said. Violent Coon Bear, hey, interesting. Crocodile. Developing Devil Fruit's ability to ultimate. Let us weigh and weigh to what extent. Mahawk. A bunch of stinky men, talking about a stinky man, it's really boring. Hancock raised her proud head. Start. In this public execution, Marine used the phone worm to live broadcast the whole process in order to show their strength. Major cities of world governments, major franchise countries. In tourist shopping centers like Saboti Archipelago, there will be special videos for broadcast. Even 4 emperors of New World can watch this live broadcast. Has it started? How will Gabriel Yuri attack? Kaido said while leaning against the big chair and watching the video. That guy wouldn't just rush and lead people in, would he, Quinn? Do you think anyone is as stupid like you? Gabriel Yuri's mind is very deep, otherwise it would be impossible to swallow the Garu kingdom silently, and the world government would not even have time to react, Kai said. Who are you, stupid asshole? Mama, the lineup of those marine guys is really strong enough. Are those 7 Shichibukai? There seems to be a few good guys. Mom. Crocodile in Shichibukai is a Logia demon fruit capable person. He has challenged Whitebeard, Luminous Moria has challenged Kaido, and Mahawk is a famous swordsman in New World. FA is not necessarily his opponent, even known as the world's largest swordsman, and the Stormcoon Bear, the Amazon female Emperor Hancock, and the Seaman Jinbei are all unique characters in the sea. Although their strength is not yet they are strong enough to dominate the New World, but they all have one characteristic, that is, they are bold enough, and each has the heart to challenge the 4 emperors. Perispero said with a smile, he knows Shichibukai well. After all, Shichibukai is for the other party was established by the 4 emperors. No matter what the condition is, investigate it first. It's all pretty good. It seems that Marine took a lot of thought. What about the last one? Big Mom asked. The last one is Marine's new trick. Originally, Doflamingo was defeated by Gabriel Yuri. It seems to have just emerged in this year. He claims to be the Golden Emperor. I did not see how much his bounty is. It seems to have suddenly appeared. So we don't have any information here, it should have been collected by Marine. For the last Shichibukai Perospe. Luo didn't know much. If Yuri were here, he would definitely recognize this person. He is the Golden Emperor Guild Tezzolo who appeared in the theater version. This guy stole the golden fruit that Doflamingo was going to auction, but he didn't expect to replace him in Shichibukai's position now. If Doflamingo knew about it, I'm afraid it would be annoyed. Gabriel Yuri will attack from there. Garp looked at the surrounding sea. I'm afraid it won't be a conventional way, Crane said solemnly. Ahem. Nico Robin, son of the devil, Marine Marshal Sengoku read this Nico Robin's crimes on the execution stage. Shoo, hoo, the sound of falling from a high altitude. Interpretation of historical government attempts to awaken ancient weapon. Shoo, hoo, the sound of falling from a high altitude. Isn't it? Garp jerked his head up and looked towards the sky. Super God Luo Tianzheng. At this time, a figure fell from the sky like lightning, and fell into the crowd of marine soldiers. Boom. The terrifying repulsion exploded like an atomic bomb, forming an unimaginable repulsive shockwave that rushed in all directions. The repulsive force destroys everything wherever it passes.